Welcome back, everyone, to Brawl Masters. It's so great to have you here. We are going to be getting into the last chance qualifiers momentarily. I'm ready, set, and that is Nighttime Clasher. It's good to have you back with us, man.
Yeah, I've had a busy few weeks, but I am back, and we are back when it counts, because this is the last chance qualifier. Only one of your favorite teams will be making it through this bracket and going to be participating in the playoffs next week, alongside West Coast, Tribe Gaming, and Stamina Esports. Let's take a look at the format. The one that we're going to be looking at is the one in the middle. Playoffs are already over, and while this one's not having any prize pool, it's still a huge deal because teams who qualify through winning this bracket automatically earn a prize in the playoffs as long as they play. So a lot is on the line here. A lot of teams want a chance to compete against those top teams in a double elimination format next week. Draft mode is still going to be the same, and yeah, looking forward to some great games today.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to them too. And Knight, you mentioned the prizes for the playoffs, and here you go. If you just get into the playoffs, that is a guaranteed $200. Now, of course, the prize for today for the last chance qualifiers is getting that last spot, that fourth spot in the playoffs. So, as you said, guaranteed money to be won, cash money in the bank, and fame and glory for those winners. Of course, if you're just now joining us for Brawl Masters, we do have a pretty unique mode here. It's the draft mode. We do have a nice little graphic to help explain it to you. So, enemy team gets to ban one mode, home team gets to ban one mode, and another mode. Then the mode and map selections are going to be chosen in a certain order, and then there are bans that are ABBA format. Night.
Yep, same format as before, as I've said, and we're going to take a look at what these teams decide to ban today, starting with our first match soon. But the maps that they're going to be playing on is Hard Rock Mine, Sneaky Fields, Dry Season, Pit Stop, Split, and Nuts and Bolts. And while those first three maps look okay, those last three are probably going to be ones that players really like to ban, because Split, Pit Stop, and Nuts and Bolts, those are just some more inconsistent game modes, as some pros would say, compared to like Bounty, Gem Grab, and Brawl Ball, the more reliable ones, as most people enjoy them more, I guess. But we'll just have to see what these teams decide to do. And yeah, that's our first matchup here. Gallant Esports versus America Esports. Both really good players, having competed in the Master League, having competed in multiple monthly finals. These guys definitely know what they're doing. Some of the best from the LATAM North region are going to be fighting for their place in this bracket. And the winner of those two teams going to be going up against O.O and Red Button, who are playing simultaneously as we speak. So yeah, first match, we should be getting into it in just a bit, but the teams are probably just finalizing those drafts and writing up those brawlers. Let's take a look.
Yeah, we had that draft mode coming through. It's going to be Hot Zone and Heist banned out by Gallant, then Siege banned by America Esports. And America Esports are going to go with Hard Rock Mine first, which is a very, very solid one. Knight, you said this is a consistent game mode, and I couldn't agree more, especially Hard Rock Mine. Dry Season and Sneaky Fields to end us off, right? We got rid of all of the inconsistent maps, so we can expect a pretty calculated and pretty straightforward match here. But, of course, we have the bans, and that can definitely spice things up, Knight.
Yeah, as I just said, not even having looked at what they'd banned first, but yeah, it's not too surprising. They did go with Hard Rock Mine, Dry Season, and Sneaky Fields. Obviously, Hard Rock Mine is a favorite of many players, and hey, well, there's really not much not to like about this map. It's a classic. It's been in since the first Brawl Stars tournament they actually played on this when it was Pam and Bull meta. But yeah, those are our maps here, and the bans do make a lot of sense, especially given the circumstances. Leon, obviously, are going to be taken out here by the blue team, Gallant Esports. A top lane pick here in Hard Rock Mine gives the mid actually a lot more room to move around that really open center from the safety of an invisibility totem. Mortis and Ashe, just overall good bans. Mortis still not out of the meta after that recent nerf to his Creepy Harvest star power. Buzz, we know he's good. There's not much to say about that. Yeah, a lot of these melee brawlers are getting banned out, so we're going to see how teams actually adapt to that, maybe pick other tanks like Jackie or Frank, who are also really strong right now, to go with Poco or something like that.
Yeah, that is something big to consider, is that our healers are in play. Byron and Poco are both in play. Byron can, pick up the mid control pretty well. Also, with Mortis banned out, probably going to see some more opportunities for sharpshooters, given that Mortis does counter sharpshooters so hard and can make this mode, as you would say, and as I suppose pros would play, inconsistent, right? So establish the consistency, get rid of Mortis, get rid of Ashe, some of those brawlers that can really just randomly show up. It's a bit of rock, paper, scissors meta, if you will. So I wonder, though, Knight, do you think we'll be seeing any Piper here, or are we feeling more Bell now for the current meta?
I think Piper and Bell are both great options. You can even opt for the Jean. Some of these Latin American teams really do like their Jean pick. Some might even opt for a Pam in the mid, which is a little bit more uncommon, but it's not completely out of the question. And speaking of the Mortis ban, actually something very interesting is this America Esports team does have RBM, who is honestly one of the best Mortis players in this region. Yeah. So it's very interesting to see Mortis banned. Maybe these teams anticipated playing each other, and that would honestly throw the opponents off. I mean, it would throw me off for sure, because RBM, he's known to play Mortis everywhere. He doesn't even care if there's a Shelly on the other team. He will still play Mortis. Yeah, they're taking it out of the equation themselves here, which is, that's just surprising. We're probably going to see these players opt for a Piper or a Bell from America Esports. Batuchas is really great with those sharpshooting brawlers. On the other hand, I don't know what Gallant Esports will pick, but what I can be sure of is they're going to have a Rico and maybe a Stu. Rico, Stu, and 8-Bit is something they might go with. Obviously, Steven is one of the best Ricos we've seen around these regions. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me too much to see that.
Yeah, Rico is undeniably one of the best brawlers on this map, and usually one that you want to ban if you're not feeling as confident. So we can, I think, expect to see Rico from both teams on this one. Get some really good denial on the lane with Rico strongly in play. That could be a deterrent for some tanks, but even then, we have seen players play brawlers like Rosa and things and plant those bushes going straight up mid. Let's see if that happens. We're going to be getting into the first... Nope, never mind. We are going to be spectating Mr. Stu hanging out in the training cave. I mean, you got to get prepared. You got to test out the skin, too. It's a pretty cool skin that got introduced for Stu for Halloween.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe that's a little bit of foreshadowing as to what comps these teams are wanting to run. Sometimes you accidentally hop into that try, and hey, you've given away which brawler you're going to play, unfortunately. What we'll just have to see as these teams finish up their last picks. Speaking of those picks, we do have Bounty and Brawl to consider, which are some maps where, Bounty, that's Dry Season. Usually you would see some of these tanks to counter the double thrower meta or just the Bell and Piper meta. And With some tanks banned out, maybe it's a little bit more viable to just run safe double thrower comps. And on sneaky fields, not having like Buzz in play or like Ash, that opens up the room for other tanks, as I've said. Of course, we know how good Frank is. We know how good Rosa and Jackie are just in general. Like sometimes it feels like you can't even kill a Rosa as a Terra, just because Rosa has so much health, and when you shield up, the Terra super doesn't really do anything to you. So these are what teams have to consider going into these modes. It's probably going to be a 3-set game. If I were to predict, these teams are relatively evenly matched. So that's, yeah, we're probably going to sneaky fields.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, if we want to break down this set by set, I'd say it's very realistic for either Gallant or America Esports to take Hard Rock Mine. And Dry Season, I think, could go either way too. Maybe favoring America Esports just a little bit more. It does seem like they are acutely aware of what could happen on that map with the Mortis ban, and maybe a little bit of Sprout and Tick play will come in, as you suggested, with the double thrower comp. Maybe not those particular throwers, but definitely a couple throwers could wreak havoc on that map and get some good defense, get some good offense, really anything you need them to do. Sneaky fields though, right, this is what you talked about just a moment ago. You said a little bit of Bull, some Rosa, right, super toxic. Ems also, I think, is another one to consider. She has kind of been like, you know, between meta and off meta for a while. I personally like her. I know some players like Eslivy really like her and play her really at any possible opportunity. But do you think we'll see Ems on sneaky fields?
Yeah, and Ems, well, not only being a great counter pick to these tanks and that we talked about, like Frank and Jackie, but it's also really good against Sandy, which is such a common pick on all these maps. Just as a lane option, Sandy is great on Hard Rock Mine, of course. Just in general, it's strong. It's as strong everywhere. But sneaky fields, Ems is so good against Sandy because you just outrange by a little bit, and it's really easy to use your super to just scout others in the Sandy super or just push them out completely. Yes, Ems is a really solid pick there, but it's a little bit rough to play Ems when you got those brawlers like Mortis or Mortis open, which he's not obviously, so it just becomes that much better of a pick. I'm curious to see though how teams use the Mortis ban to their advantage. Like picking Sprout, it's a brawler we don't really see that often anymore, mostly because of how he gets countered really hard in certain situations, and you don't want to take the risk unless you've done a significant amount of analysis to identify if your opponents are going to bring a normal comp or a funny comp. So Sprout on Hard Rock Mine, notably that's good against Rico. Obviously it's, well, yeah, Sprout versus Rico is a relatively free matchup. Even on sneaky fields, you can use him on the lane or even the mid. With all that grass, if there's no tanks really, Sprout can usually 3-shot like all the brawlers that are common there, if not tanks. So you can 3-shot B, you can 3-shot Spike. Those are really solid brawlers that Sprout really does counter. And with the grass all over, there's just so much room for him to have like basically 6,000 health on the map at all times.
Yeah, so the effective 6,000 health, right? That's what gets you with the Sprout. The Sprout can just be like such an absolute tank if you need him to be. Of course, other brawlers that could be possible in Hard Rock Mine. I think Spike is one that we haven't really talked about so far, and Spike with Curveball can get some good area control, right? Especially if, as you mentioned, Sandy pops up and you have that Sandstorm to check very thoroughly. Also, I mean, you know, going back to what we saw in the training cave a couple of minutes ago, Stu, right? And having those spawnable, or having that spawnable, the life plant, the thick cactus, can be definitely instrumental in winning that lane matchup. Though another thing to consider is that Tara is available, and Tara can still be played on the lane and counter the heck out of Stu as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to counter Stu, but if you know what your opponents are going to pick, as we said, these teams are very familiar with each other, having played in lots of round robins just in general, in the Master League, in ESL as well. A few of these players from each of the teams have been participating in ESL, and they know what each other are going to pick at this point. And when you're talking about Stu, there's a lot of ways to counter him, but if you don't have the right answer, like, you're going to be in a lot of trouble basically. And you can use actually a Pam to counter Stu. You can use a Terra, that's the obvious one. But anything really with a turret where Stu has to use his ammo and can't find a super is really, really good. So if you're a Pam, you stay behind a turret. That's 3 of his shots, and then all of a sudden he has no damage to take out literally a 6,000 health Pam. So that's just a good option in general.
Yeah, Pam is definitely fearsome, especially, you use the funny gadget, the Scrap Sucker. I honestly, like, still kind of can't believe that that's in the game. It's such a funny gadget. It's like such a toxic ability. It's like Primo's suplex supplement. It just feels so toxic, right? And it does really counter sharpshooters that have slow reload speed. So I would definitely say we can expect that. And you mentioned, I think before the show, that this is something that is a little bit more common in LATAM and America Esports. We're looking at a LATAM roster here, so just region-wise, right, by knowing the dojo, knowing the meta of respective regions that are usually separate from each other, we could be seeing some Pam. Actually, we're going to be moving right along to LDU Esports versus Rake for our first match of the day. Seemed like these teams were taking a little bit too long to get ready, so we'll be moving right along to a different match.
Yeah, LDU Esports versus Rake. Obviously not the same game here, but still a very good one. LDU Esports, we've seen them do so well throughout the previous 3 open qualifiers. I think they overall end up 4th seed compared to even ahead of like O.O. So they're really a team that we want to look out for here. I think they missed out the qualifying by actually like 2 points. So LDU is definitely a contender for today's title and moving up into the playoffs. They are actually on the top side of the bracket compared to O.O, their main threat, which is on the bottom side of the bracket, who will be going up against Revenge Tour or Gallant as well. And as those teams get mixed up in this bloody ocean here, LDU Esports hopes to come out and take out one of these teams in the finals. So yeah, they've got a long road ahead of them, but it's definitely possible. Let's take a look at what the teams have for us here, though, and yeah, take it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you predicted, as soon as we saw those maps flying out at the top of the show, Siege, Heist, Hot Zone are going to be getting banned out. And in fact, this looks like pretty much the same exact match, except the bans have changed up just a little bit. Yeah, it is the same exact modes in the same exact order. Of course, we do have the bans. They're going to be Ash, Piper, Buzz, and Meg. Interesting to see the Piper ban. Meg is a brawler that we've seen like a little bit here and there. I wouldn't personally maybe say that she's ban worthy. She's not necessarily like an X factor. Piper though is definitely an interesting one. I wonder if it's like a targeted ban towards LDU, but of course consider that Bell is still available. So I don't know what sort of impact this might make, Knight.
Yeah, and speaking of this team Rake here, they're a little bit unknown in the scene. Personally, I have not heard of them. It's target located, Yojans, and Sensei. And yeah, let's take a look at the game though and see what the decision of these players were. Looks like LDU is going with a Rico, a Sandy, and a Max here. Opposition is running a Byron, a Spike, and a Sandy. It looks like Yojin is going to pick up the first 2 kills actually for his team, finding a Chug Jug onto the Sandy and tapping the Max up at the start here. But if I know anything about this matchup is that Byron honestly is really bad against Max, and it feeds those supers a lot. Payne's going to be popping Let's Go #1 as Pasha, or Pollo on the left-hand side, is winning his lane. It looks like LDU is slowly swinging this game back into their favor after a rough start.
Okay, Sandstorm is down and iPain is completely invisible. He is going to go for the Byron matchup that you mentioned, Knight, is not very optimal for him. Carlitos is going to help out with the Byron matchup as well. iPain circling around to the left side, and Sensei is backed all the way up. In fact, this is the Hard Rock Mine spawn trap that does take quite a bit of skill to accomplish. LDU Esports, they are going to have to double back just a little bit here. Carlitos will be able to pick up that 9th gem, though. Just one more to go before that countdown starts. And what looked like a good start for Rake has quickly turned into what could be a photo finish for LDU Esports. iPain does pop the Let's Go, but it looks like LDU bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Pollo is going to have to look for this kill onto Sandy, and it's not going to pay off. Rake now take back the lead.
That's right, and when you just thought it was over with 9 gems in the hands of LDU Esports, having a Sandy in your side of the bush with no real way to scout, did lead to a disaster, as we saw here. Definitely the MVP here in making that push was the Byron, but it looks like they're going to get robbed right back. Pain and Pollo going down this left-hand side. Let's Go going to speed them right out of that mess that they just narrowly avoided. It's just a very small mistake in the grand scheme of things, but it's definitely not something you want to be doing again. Pain going to shoot a little bit at Pollo, not happy with how that went. But yeah, LDU Esports is taking the first game here against Rake.
That was absolutely filthy. The super right at the end, I believe it was Pollo on the Rico, right? Getting that super in right at the spawn and getting a couple of kills with that this is what every Rico player dreams of when they're going for that epic comeback at the end, and it completely paid off. Absolutely beautiful to watch. A great comeback there by LDU Esports. They did almost fumble the bag there. Just one time, right, where they did not back up quickly enough. Fortunately for them, they were able to bring it back. Rake, though, they did play consistently, and that is definitely to their merit, though they're not going to want to get swept from behind this time. They got to find a way to break out of that spawn trap that LDU had them in, sort of a chokehold for the majority of that last game.
Yeah, and I think one of the issues that Rake had there was as soon as they picked up 10 gems, they ran back really, really fast. Even though they had a Sandy super active, they just ran all the way back to the spawn, which is not exactly what you want to be doing. You want to still hold the control in the center and just fall back really slowly as that timer slowly counts down. And they made a big mistake there by just going back so quickly. Pollo was able to pick up an easy team wipe with the Rico. Being able to chain those supers in the back really paid off there. And while LDU Esports did take that first one, Rake didn't do such a bad job for an underdog, almost securing the win for themselves. And yeah, that could have gone either way, honestly. LDU has to maybe reconsider their positioning and just how they played that match overall, because yeah, the start was not ideal and the end was almost not ideal. They've got to just win those matchups more efficiently and just try to spawn trap Rake as they kind of did. But it's going to be Juan Carlos on the Poco, and Pain is on the Byron. And while Poco's not really a reliable lane here, Juan Carlos is a notorious Poco main, playing one of the lowest skill brawlers in the game. But he's probably going to make it work with the double kill here. Absolutely, he is, and wins his lane, wins the mid lane, and yeah, already in the bush here is Juan Carlos. Rake is in a lot of trouble.
Ouch, and the Screeching solo Poco is so effective at the spawn trap too. This is actually a good lane swap by Rake to switch Rico over here onto the left side. He's going to keep himself alive and healthy with that bouncy castle, but he's not able to get the angle onto Carlitos quite. Though here's a target located, trying to push up, almost gets taken down by the super from iPain. Still no progress on that left side, though. Carlitos just has another super ready to go, and Screeching Solo takes out target located. Meanwhile, on the right side, Pollo holding down the fort, keeping Sensei back. The spawn trap is so effective here. Carlitos isn't going to go down, and LDU Esports will be totally sweeping, not raking, but sweeping the competition here.
Yeah, that's going to be LDU taking our first set, almost falling to that Rico Super is Pain. But yeah, honestly, Poco did a lot more for them than the Sandy, honestly. And maybe that's just the expertise of Juan Carlos that we haven't had a chance to understand fully yet. Really nice job to them. They're going to be moving on to dry season, though. Let's see if those Poco strats hold up, because I think they probably will if they use the right comp. Let's see how Rake reacts to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see either. This has been a great start for LDU on the map of Rake's choice, which is never a great feeling. If you ask me, though, Rake, they did hold their own versus LDU pretty well, but at the end of the day, this is LDU, right? Maybe Hard Rock Mine was a bit too consistent of a choice, and they could have gone for a different mode. Bounty is definitely one that can kind of flip-flop, and Brawl Ball most certainly is one of those modes when you compare it against the likes of Gem Grab, at least. So we'll see what the teams go for. Of course, Buzz is not available, so maybe this could feed into a little bit of thrower play. Another thing to consider, though, is we just saw the Byron, doing pretty well. We just saw the Poco doing pretty well, so this could perhaps inspire a little bit of Byron and tanks or Poco and tanks.
Yeah, so even though that last match that we didn't get to watch, Mortis was banned there, he is not banned here, though. So Sprout is not safe. It's probably a super bad race for Mortis, if anything, just because you go on him, it's 6,000 health, he can't even hit you, and while you're on the Sprout, you just chain onto other people. Let's take a look at what they went with. It's going to be Carlitos on the Brock, Polio on the Ghost Squeak, and Pain sticking with the Byron. It's going to be Rake, though, trying to pick up that first star, but goes down to a Squeak little bomb there. Carlitos throwing out the gadgets, all of them actually popping those gadgets, and they're picking up a lot of kills, have a lot to show for it. Sensei going to fall down. Yogen going to be getting out of that respawn as Carlitos stays healed up by Pain, who's already 5 stars on his head. Yogen just one shot to the Brock. Can he find the kill? No, but Polio falls down at the bottom side of your screen. Target located, going to jump out, and it's looking like a pretty solid start for LDU Esports here. 8 stars to 3, they just have to keep Pain alive.
Yeah, they just got to keep him alive with all of those stars in order to maintain that lead. Otherwise, it is going to be a lead by Rake via the blue star. Carlitos now pushes through on the left side. Down goes Johan. Carlitos, will fall. iPain narrowly avoids the damage from target located and claims a kill in the process. A 5-star lead. iPain really can't go down now as he's carrying the flower. The blue star plus all of the other stars surrounding it. A good kill by Posho on a target located. Johan now looking for that super onto his teammates. He is going to have to find an opportunity to back up. Does get forced to pop it just then. Now take super coming up the right side. iPain is not going to use that super. Actually, he's going to get to hold on to it just a little bit longer. LDU Esports comfortably in the lead, and only 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, Chug Jug going to go down to heal up Pain at the bottom of your screen here. Now it's going to be the Max trying to follow up on this Squeak. Should be a pretty good matchup, actually. Squeak's generally not too good, but as we've spoken about before, you people like the LEU Esports team, they want to be using brawlers that they don't really anticipate on using in the later matches, in the early ones, against teams that they're probably not too worried about, not exactly on their concern list. So yeah, that's why they're picking Squeak here. That's why they were probably picking Max in the previous games, because they, and obviously they went with a more serious comp here. Well, kind of more serious. They did 2/3 of the way. But yeah, they want to use brawlers that they won't use later on, because they, of course the other teams are watching and they're writing down notes. They're looking at the API. There's all these different factors that they have to consider, and they don't want to get countered because they already showed off all their comps in the round of 16. They want to save it for the round of 4, for the finals, maybe even for the round of 8 if they need it. But yeah, really good, just micro strategy here from LDU Esports, and they are on match point against Rake.
Yeah, you talk about the micro strategy, and while it's not like necessarily, necessary to get the win versus Rake, it's gonna make all the difference in those later matches, of course, provided LDU Esports make it that far. Now, the chances are that they are, in fact, they've made it to the semifinals time and time again in our previous open qualifiers. Rake, this might be our first time really seeing them on the stream. So an obvious favored team here. And Rake, they could get the reverse sweep. It's going to be just almost an insurmountable obstacle for them. So we'll see what exactly they bring as a last-ditch effort here. But otherwise, LDU Esports, they've taken every single win so far. They are 3 for 3, and they could end up 4 for 4. They managed to go 3 for 3, mind you, with a Squeak, which is kind of funny in my opinion. And I wonder if we'll see Squeak again. Perhaps not. Perhaps something a little bit even more creative. In any case, it's the match point coming up.
Yeah, I guess Polio really wanted to try out that new Squeak skin. Just wanted an excuse to flex the fact that he had the skin. Probably using all those winnings from the other weeks. And yeah, we're hopping into the possible last match here. It is going to be Slime Gene along with a Poco and a Max. Nani, Sprout, and Bell from Rake. Looks like a pretty solid comp, but it's going to be Juan Carlos running in with a tuning fork for his team to grab that first star, and he's going to be trying to body his way all the way up into the Sprout here, but Sensei does find the first kill in Pain. Tuning fork going to be activated on just himself. As, yeah, I mean, Sprout doesn't have the damage really to take care of a Poco if he doesn't hit enough shots. Carlitos is all over them, doesn't even use the super to heal, just uses it for the damage. And yeah, with the let's go from Pain, I mean, they're going to be running out of this one probably scot-free, but I don't know, it's going to be Pain who actually dodges out of a Poco kill. And yeah, target located is going to be struggling here to find Juan Carlos, who's just, I don't even know, this guy is a magician. Look at him go, 5 stars at the back with a Poco on dry season, 12 stars to 9, and yeah, if you're Rake, you got to find a kill onto Pain to take this lead. Doesn't look like Pain is anywhere close to dying yet, though.
Yeah, you talk about the magician here. I got a fun act for you: the disappearing stars, or I guess disappearing brawlers on the enemy side. You know, magicians, they'll have a ball under one cup and then suddenly appears on the other cup. And in the case of LDU Esports, it appears that Rake stars are appearing on the side of LDU's score. Pain is going to fall, though. That is going to be the lead going to Rake now. 1-star lead for Rake, plus that blue star, but it might not last long. Here's Vengeful Spirits. Posho will fall, but Carlitos is narrowing these guys into the corner. He'll trip that mine, or the nest egg, and does... Oh! Rake is going to get a narrow lead here. Is it even possible for LDU to come back with just 10 seconds left?
Doesn't look like it. They've got to find a kill on the Sprout. And with no Gene Pull or Max Super, it doesn't look good. Oh, they're so close, but just barely not finding the kill at the end there. Rake is saving themselves at the match point. Yeah, I mean, if you're the team of LDU right here, maybe you got to consider a little bit more of a serious comp. Sure, you don't want to give away all your strategies, but you also want to use something that can actually win. Maybe Pollo at the end there, screwing him around a little bit with the Gene Pull. We saw him miss it on the spread and then just do a little spin like, well, that happened, what do I do now? And yeah, probably not expecting it, sat in the bush for like half an hour there and unfortunately missed the pull. LDU though, still on match point. I'm sure they are not shaking in their boots just yet. And yeah, let's see if they go with a similar comp or actually like tighten things up here and just finish this game off. Because if they go to a next set, they're forced to reveal even more comps. So if they don't take this one seriously, they could be in some more analytical trouble, so to speak.
Yeah, well, let's see what they're going to be picking this time. Maybe they do just want to close out the set here. They are going to be going for more or less the same strategy. iPaint is going to be switching onto that Max, but otherwise it is the same comp from LDU. No blue star picked up just yet, though. LDU are going to be playing around it. There's the blue star going to iPaint. And now Rake keeps on backing up. Carlitos claims that first kill. Pollo over here on the right is going to be looking for that first pull. Does get the speed. iPain will farm up his next super as well. Carlitos, ouch, taking major damage. There's a kill on a Johan, though. And LDU now are 5 stars in the lead. And iPain will barely be escaping.
Yeah, Sensei going to be activating his remote-controlled robot there. Finding 1 kill onto Pain as his teammates spin like they don't even care. Posho, though, is holding onto that super. Posho, by the way, is Pollo from the previous matches. Just a little funny name change. Who knows who that is? Probably an anime character. Carlitos, though, on the left-hand side here, is having a tag and 5 stars on him. He does stay alive barely. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what? He just went down barely before activating his super. But they are 6 stars up. And a kill onto Posho and iPain will be the secure for Rake, but it doesn't look like they can get it done. Posho going to be a little bit outranged here, and Pain trying to find that next super. Wow, a nice Vengeful Spirit does fall onto the bell, and a little bit of spins from LDU here as they get that job done. Tag goes into the Oblivion, and now it's going to be up to Rake to find a kill with this Nani head and then kill that Gene, who does have 5 stars on him. Yojon goes down, and it looks like there's no way Rake can save this match from going to LDU Esports.
10 seconds remain, and yeah, there's no hope for Rake at this point. A great comeback for LDU. Carlitos and iPaint working together there to get that final kill. Lose Pollo in the process, but it doesn't matter. LDU Esports will be heading on to the round of 8, aka the quarterfinals, which is, I think, where we most of us expected them to be. Such a dominating roster, And with some of the more challenging teams eliminated as they are already qualified, they can't play in the last chance qualifier, I do think that it's very realistic that LDU qualifies. Of course, there are other teams to worry about, but it does not seem like Rake is one of them. GG's to Rake, and congrats to LDU Esports.
Yeah, I think this is a mission success for them. They were able to win this match and not really give away too much information. At the same time, Rake having made some stranger bans with a Piper ban, that makes it even less predictable as to what LDU could go, as Piper could have been something that was on their main menu. Going into these next matches though, yeah, these teams all have to be careful about how they pick their comps, because, I mean, all eyes are on them. Slash Love E-Girls versus Vatra Diamond is coming up though. Slash's team, I think they were in the ESL Mobile Open. I'm not sure if it's the same roster, but Vatra Diamond is, I think that is the Kotu BGBG former roster. No, it is not. It's Axel, Ablimek, and Ali, Alinis, and Lari. I pronounced all those wrong. I'm sorry. But oh yeah, on Slash's team, it is CR7, Slash, and Lukey Bear. Obviously, a solid roster. They know what they're doing, and definitely could be a contender for LDU Esports in that top bracket. So yeah, LDU Esports, keep your eyes on this match. It's coming right up as the teams decide their last few drafts.
Yeah, they are getting through that process. Slash Heart Eagles, right? This is definitely, in my opinion, the favorite team going into this one. It is sort of just like, it's like a mashup of like talented players that have not necessarily played too much together on the same rosters. I'm talking specifically about Lukey Bear here joining in the roster. Slash and CR7 have played together plenty. Let's take a look at the draft mode though. Hot Zone, Siege, and Heist, as predicted at the top of the show, are going to be getting banned out first. Then Bounty to start us off, which is definitely a little bit not traditional. Vatra Diamond though will be making that pick. So I would say that they're picking Bounty first because Hard Rock Mine would just favor Slash Heart Eagles too much.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at these bans here. But yeah, it's Hot Zone and Siege and Heist out for both of these teams. Nothing that we don't expect, but surely do expect a lot of Brawl Ball, Gem Grab, and Bounty Day. Hope you guys don't get tired of that. But taking a look at the bans, it is Frank, Poco, Mortis, and Buzzband. Not too favorable of this funny tank meta, as they say. Jackie and Ash, though, are still open, which are very, very prevalent. But they've got to see how they can make use of them without Poco. Obviously, Byron's probably going to be the main healer here. Dry Season, though, is our first map. And with no Mortis in play, it's feeling relatively safe to play like Brock, playing Piper, and just throwers in general. These are brawlers that, yeah, I know that Slash's team definitely knows their way around Brock, definitely know their way around Sprout and Tick, with Lukey Bear and Slash and CR7. Yeah, they just know what they're doing with those brawlers, so they should be dominating here, in my opinion. But yeah, Vatra Diamond can make something of it themselves.
Yeah, they certainly can. I mean, we talked about the bans, we talked about the maps that are in play, so all that's really left is to get ready for the upcoming game. We're going to be starting off on Dry Season, and as we saw previously, like, this can be pretty favorable for double throwers, especially considering that we have Mortis and Buzz banned out, so conducive to a little bit of Sprout play here, perhaps. I don't think we talked about it for match number 1, which was actually not match number 1 since the teams took like 15 minutes to end up not getting ready. But Sprout, right, is one that we certainly expected here. And Poco's banned out as well. I mean, of course, Byron's still in play. Could see some tanks here, but the double throwers are going to be like pretty toxic to deal with, I think, and it would be a pretty strong start for these teams. I wonder if we'll see like Dynamite from Lukey, you know, possibly, maybe. Something tells me no, though.
Yeah, I mean, in the presence of Sprout and Tick, maybe that's not the best option, but we've seen Lukey play Sprout and Tick here so many times, and he really dominates with it. It's just brawlers that he knows how to use, and yeah, the other team should probably make picks around that, honestly, knowing that your opponent's going Sprout. Maybe you want to select Byron, maybe you want to select Jackie, maybe even Ash. I mean, Ash versus Sprout is generally pretty good because they can't kill you. It's just as simple as that. It's really hard for a Sprout to kill any tanks, actually. because even if you hit all your shots, you're still gonna need like 6 or 7. So not the most efficient thing you can do. Yeah, teams are taking a little bit long to ready up here, but just stick with us for a second. I'm sure it won't be long. Certainly can't be longer than that first one.
Yeah, that is for sure. I want to like see real quick, right? So could you perhaps give the throwers a hard time if you pick like Brock with rocket fuel and break open a bunch of the walls or something like that? Maybe.
Yeah.
I would say it's possible, right? In our last match, we saw the Brock pick from the enemy team, and you know, it was doing Brock things, right? Not breaking up the walls though, because it was a Brock combined with a Tick, right? And you don't want to break down Tick's walls, so we saw the use of rocket laces rather than rocket fuel, which was definitely interesting to me. But you know, it definitely seems like more of a compromise between two players who want to play like brawlers that kind of interfere with each other's playstyles rather than a synergy.
Yeah, I mean, Brock is really good when you're playing with Nani because you can open up the walls on dry season, which is a map that's not generally too open for, like, the way the map is built. It's open, but not open in a way that's good for Nani. But when you break open the right walls, you make it a really good Nani map. And that's why I was actually surprised in the last game. We saw Brock with the rocket laces, and that doesn't really do anything for you if you're a Nani, because yeah, you're not breaking open any initial walls. It's going to take a long time for the Brock to find an initial super, and then you're not going to be doing anything for the first 30 seconds, and there's a lot of struggles that come with that. So if those teams decide to go with Nani, they can pick like a Bell, a Brock, or like a Bell, a Piper, or even Brock and Piper. Brawlers that just can open up the map, make Nani a lot more useful. I mean, Nani against a thrower in the open, I mean, this one's a no-brainer. It's so easy to just kill any of those guys. I mean, Tick especially just doesn't have too much health, and Nani, you can just one-shot him pretty much. So pretty easy matchup once you get the map constructed in the way you want it to look.
Yeah, exactly. Like dry season can be whatever I want, you know? If as long as you have the wall break ready to go, then you can shape the map to your liking. And we see that with at least one other map in rotation today. Split is definitely one of those maps where the central obstacle that makes Split ends up getting destroyed. Let's see if dry season gets beaten up today. It is going to be Colonel Ruffs, Gene, and Tick, picked by Slash Hardy Girls. Vatra Diamond picking actually the exact same comp. It is the mirror comp to start us off, which is actually quite surprising. Let's see how it turns out though. First star is going to go to Slash Heart E-Girls, so they are going to get to play a defense for the first bit of this match and potentially bait Vatra Diamond into their defenses.
That's right. And talking about this comp, it makes a lot of sense because it's really good against tanks and it's pretty safe. Obviously, Tick, it's not as bad against tanks as most people would think. It's mostly Sprout that suffers. But when you've got those head first and you've got, oh wow, and a really good pull onto Qualifier here, which I think his CR7 is going to give Vatra Diamond the lead. And the first Gene buff, wow, that is a good start from them. Already sitting on 7,000 health is Alanis, as Qualifier is reset after losing his life early on there, unfortunately. And Milbeck and Luki going off against each other in this left-hand side. Luki is pushing up on the snowman tick on the top of your screen, but Alamek is not taking much damage, actually. Has a head first to show for it. Let's see if Qualifier can help keep him alive. But Vatra Diamond is in the star lead. Both teams have Gene Pulse, and Alanis has a lot more health. So let's see how this goes here. Yeah, both teams just playing pretty passively, and all trying not to get Gene pulled.
Yeah, it is definitely stressful. You do not want to get pulled, especially with only a few seconds left. Slash Heart E-Girls know that this is their chance. Ooh, and the pull onto the sandbag. That is going to be devastating. It's going to give the opportunity for Slash Heart E-Girls now to push up. They do have to get rid of the Tick Super, and now they can finally begin their assault. Luki closes in on the left side. We need to see a big pull by Patchy. Everyone's hiding behind those sandbags. Down goes a beam leg, and Patchy Pirate goes down in response. Vatra Diamond will be claiming game number 1.
Yeah, at the beginning there, Vatra Diamond had just a really good start. Obviously, starting off by taking out the other Gene and nullifying their buff and all their health increases. That's a really good way to start a game. And throughout the entire match there, Vatra Diamond did have the gene advantage just in terms of health, having the buff again. I mean, Vatra Diamond, they set themselves up for success very early and were able to just play defensively. And we saw them, not any of them went like really crazy in the offense. I guess there was one missed pull, but other than that, they really stayed safe and they did what they needed to do. And yeah, they just survived to the last second of regulation and take it this first game against Slash's team.
Good start. Let's get into the next game right away. Glad to see some teams getting started real fast today. And we'll see what the choices were this time. Slash RD Girls, they are going to be switching things up in a major way. It's double throwers plus the bell played by Slash. And Vatra Diamond, though, sticking with the same thing. Interesting. There is going to be more range from Slash RD Girls to deal with the combo of Jean and Colonel Ruffs on the right side. Could potentially be favorable. Lukey is going to pick up the tick 1v1 on the left side, and Slash RD Girls, they do have that blue star on Slash, so they can play defense to start things off.
Yeah, first star is in their favor Slash, obviously a good Bell player. CR7 though, picking up the Sprout against Ruffs. That's just obviously a good pick because those bags don't really have any effect on you because you can hit them with that area damage. Going to be finding a first kill onto Alanis there on the right-hand side. Yeah, Slash's team, they've really picked a good comp here that will set them up for success. Obviously, this Sprout's going to be like just destroying them until they can find a gene pull. Because Ablamek, he has to fight that tick. If he doesn't fight the tick, well then the tick will harass them. But he also has to fight the Sprout. So there's so many things for one guy to do, and he just can't do it all. Now Ruff's going to be trying to go on a Sprout. We all know how that one's going to end. Not very well. And maybe the Ruffs can decide he can actually match up against the tick a little bit better than he can against the Sprout. They do a lane switch here, but it doesn't look good for Vatra Diamond.
Not too great for Vatra Diamond. They got a 13-star lead to pick up here. If they can get the kill on a Slash, that could work wonders for them, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Alianis goes down, so does a Beamlek, and down goes a Tick Super as well. Nothing. Absolutely nothing for Vatra Diamond to work with here. Patchy throws up that Crying Sprout pin, and I would too, because, man, this is some well-earned domination from the side of Slash Hard E-Girls. Also, an amazing choice of comp. The double throwers was exactly what they needed versus Vatra Diamond, picking the same thing again, which is, I think, pretty interesting, right? Because there was a mirror match last time, and I don't necessarily think that sticking with the same comp is going to provide you with a mirror match or some sort of advantage, like a counter in the next game. So, Vatra Diamond, maybe they'll switch this up for game number 3.
Yeah, that's right. Big changes from Slash's team there do pay off really well. They made the right call, and now it's a little bit of a mind game because you know they're trying to counter that. But at the same time, do you want to risk playing tanks? Because you might be going up against a Jean and a Ruffs if you didn't predict it carefully. I mean, I hope these teams here have done their due diligence. I certainly haven't because I'm not playing. But if I were to choose, I think Vatra Diamond's best option is probably to go with tanks. They obviously should know that they're maybe not the more experienced than Slash's team, but they still have a chance if they select the right comp and maybe select something that's not expected. And yeah, that's the only way they can try to pull this back. Slash's team, they've got to obviously stay diligent themselves, knowing that that might be a possibility. And honestly, if they go back to this Jean, the Ruffs, and the Tick comp, that honestly seems pretty safe. And that's ultimately what they probably should go with here. No, and it's actually going to be Slash's team going with the tanks, similar to Vatra Diamond. Both had the same idea. And let's see who comes out on top here, because Vatra does have a healer. That is the main difference.
A Mickey Mouse matchup here for game number 3 of Bounty. And I wonder how exactly the Edgar pick is going to work out. Find it funny Slash playing the Edgar, given that he does kind of look like Edgar IRL, but that's a point for another day. Slash Hard E-Girls are going to be able to push it on the left side. Patchy gets that big shot. Lukey rolls it on the right side. Alianis goes down. A Beamlek will be the next to fall. And Axie is going to try and get up here, but he's not going to be able to make it in time. Slash Hard E-Girls with a good lead, 6-1 to start things off as we head into the final minute of this game, the second half. Vatra Diamond finally can push in on the right side, though Alianis is nowhere to be seen, not in the line of sight of the healing. A Beam Leg will get a kill, and potentially another. Yes, Lukey, no, he'll barely get out of the way. Slash picks up the slack, and almost, yes, in fact, he does take out Axel. Down goes Slash. Alianis goes down.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it is a slugfest, but Vatra Diamond will be walking away with the lead in 40 seconds to work with.
Yeah, as the clock ticks down to 30 seconds left, almost in regulation, it is going to be Slash, this team, who has to make a push here. And I don't know how they're going to do it. That Rosa with the shield, it seems really dangerous on the left-hand side. Like, how do you even kill a Rosa with the shield? Lukey, though, is going to make a play onto Axel, as that seems like the only option. Slash going to go on in, 16 stars to 19, and it doesn't look like Slash's team has the firepower to take out Vatra Diamond here. 10 seconds left. No supers, though, from Slash or Lukey. It's going to be really hard for them to get any kind of offense, but Ablamek playing from afar, and yeah, using that Rosa super so well throughout this entire game. First set is going to be going to Vatra Diamond. Slash's E-Girls need to make a comeback in this next set of Hard Rock Mine.
Yeah, even just one win here by Vatra Diamond will put them at the match point, so not where Slash Heart Eagles want to be. And I think also we expected Slash Heart Eagles to be taking the first set here, and did favor kind of Vatra, or well, not necessarily favor Vatra Diamond for the second one. In fact, Slash Heart Eagles is favored for set number 2, but with the momentum on the side of Vatra Diamond, it could perhaps sway the balance just a little bit. So Slash Hard E-Girls, what do we think they're going to be playing here on Hard Rock Mine, right? Given that we did just see the Rosa come out from Vatra Diamond, and that's entirely feasible, totally viable to play here. Rico is another one that could be very, very useful. Also, Sprout could be occupying a lane.
Yeah, Sprout on those lanes is pretty dangerous, especially when you have a Rico on your team, or just anything that can't really deal with a Sprout. And that's pretty much anything except for tanks and another Sprout. So yeah, it's definitely a good option. Not the safest option, but if you really know what the opponent is playing, as we've said, it's a good option, obviously. Slash's team probably needs to run something safe here, as Vatra is probably looking to close these last matches out with tanks, which is, again, not surprising. You can't blame them. It's probably the best option they should go with here. And yeah, Byron being open means he'll probably be played in the mid. On the other hand, you can use a Piper or a Bell to deal with Byron pretty effectively. And yeah, lots of options open here. Rico, obviously good against tanks, but not as good as he used to be, with the funny gadget where he would just explode any tank that gets on top of you. But yeah, still a really good option. If you use the extra bouncy star power, you can get a ton of extra damage onto the tanks. Obviously the shots make them all look the same now, so who even knows what star power they're using. Let's go right into the match.
Yeah, let's get into it. Vatra Diamond, they are going to be picking up the Stew here on the right side, and Patchy is, rather not Patchy, this is actually CR7, but we'll call him Patchy for the purpose of, he chose that name, we'll let him have it. Patchy Pirate on the right side will be looking for a little bit of control, not taking the usual Rico role of completely locking down the right lane, but that's because Axel's not going to let him have it. Axel opts for more of a mid role, but it's a voluntary pinch. Lukey will be able to pick up that kill, and this is when things start to fall apart for Vatra Diamond. Alianis is going to try and slow things down as much as possible, and it is going to be quite effective. Slash wants to grab these gems. That is the name of the game mode. Grab the gems. It's gem grab. Down goes that turret on the right side. No one to occupy it, though. No one to guard it. We could see the cheat cartridge to try and defend it a little bit, but it doesn't look like we're going to see it. Slash will be getting that kill onto... No, never mind.
Wow.
Alianis escapes with just like a fraction of health. Oh my gosh. Such a good gadget.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably calculated, as he knew he could get it at any time. Cut it a little bit close, but almost took out Slash's turret. Probably a little unnecessary to go for it, honestly, because Slash did have another turret ready and charged up. But let's take a look at the Ruffs buffs on the board, because they've got a lot on the side of Slash's team. What? Axel's going to go up top instead of grab the gems, and I think Vatra Diamond is going to throw away this game for seemingly no reason. I'm surprised to see that, actually. because they were playing so well the entire match so far. Let's see if they can bring this one back, but it really looks unlikely. 2 seconds left, and Slash E-Girls are going to be pulling this match back in their favor. Yeah, 8-Bit going to be picked from both sides, and it makes a lot of sense, honestly, because, hey, 8-Bit counters tanks really, really well. I mean, that one goes without saying. He just does a ton of damage, and tanks have a ton of health. So, yeah, you put 1 and 2 together, and you get 4.
Seems so. I mean, with let's talk about the 8-Bit though, right? Because 8-Bit like just kind of came back into the meta now that Bell got a handful of nerfs. Now Bell is still very, very viable, right? But 8-Bit is one of those that you don't want to play if there's like, you know, a potential of Bell within reasonable doubt. And I mean, I think this does really speak volumes about where 8-Bit is, right? It's just really the single brawler that eliminates him from the meta. So it's great to see 8-Bit back, even though he's been back for like a month or so now. But he's like solidly now back in the meta to the point where he is going to be playing on Hard Rock Mine. We're going to see it once again, actually. Both teams picking up the V8-Bit. This time, though, Vatra Diamond will be bringing a Sprout to deal with Mr. Patchy Pirate here on the Rico. We talked about this night. It's a hard counter.
Really, really smart pick here from Vatra Diamond. Sprout not only counters Rico, but he counters Ruffs as well. And even 8-Bit if you can get close enough to the turret. But maybe not, because CR7 is really, really good on that Rico clear. Being able to pop that gadget to stay alive, wasting all the Sprout shots, and just wins that lane, no problem. Now Axel's going to be making the switch to the left-hand side, struggling a little bit with the Rico. It's going to force him now onto that Ruffs, where he's also going to find a easy matchup. But yeah, just because it's easy doesn't mean it's free. He's still got to play this one well, and against a team like Slash's, nothing is a freebie. Patchy Pirate just going crazy on this right-hand side. Slash picking up 8 gems to 0. And yeah, this is not a spot Vatra wants to be in, especially with no 8-Bit turret on the field. They've got to take out Luki though for a reset. Let's see if they can get it done. They do. Slash now needs to pick up gem number 10. He does.
That's great. You see the teleport from Slash specifically to take out Rico. Of course, I'm talking a beam like here. It teleports behind you, nothing personnel kid, and eliminates him. Allows him to claim that 10th gem, and Slash is really not going anywhere. A beam like is going straight back to the respawn, and Slash Heart E-Girls are going straight to set number 3. Great way to defend themselves from going to that match point. Of course, this is really what we expected on Hard Rock Mine. This is more of a level playing field, and Slash Heart E-Girls would more realistically get the win here. But Sneaky Fields to end things off, kind of an unconventional Brawl Ball map, definitely sticks out from the rest. For better or for worse, it is favorable towards some tanks here, as well as the tank counters, right? Anything that is meta, their counters will become meta too. So it'll be interesting to see. I think there was a little bit of debate earlier about whether we're going to see like M's or not. M's definitely a viable pick. Another thing to consider though is that Slash Heart E-Girls, I would say it's pretty likely that they just go all tanks themselves, right? Like Slash see him on the Jackie, and then maybe a little bit of Rosa play here and there as well, maybe like CR7 or something like that. Vatra Diamond just playing the same tanks as before as they did on Bounty.
Yeah, and that would make sense. There's a few options on this map. You can go with the B mid with other tank counters like M's, Terra, or what's the other one? Spike or Rico. And you can go a Jesse mid as well. Obviously, that's good against tanks. You can go a Byron mid along with tanks, or just Byron mid solo, because he's just really good at winning those open lanes. Mid one is pretty open, as not many people would think. Yeah, it's solid there. And then there's Sprout, who counters Byron, who counters B, Spike, Terra, M's, all those. As long as you hit your shots and don't get snuck up on, it's just a good pick. If you want to counter certain brawlers, obviously you're going to die if there's a Jackie. And yeah, those are the little interactions that you've got to watch out for picking comps for this last set. Both teams are looking to finish this one out. Whoever wins this first one is going to be looking at a match point, so lots of pressure to perform here. Obviously, nobody wants to go out on a round of 16 single elimination match. So yeah, especially a team like Slash's team, who is honestly pretty favored here. Falling at such an early round would just be a little bit disappointing. So yeah, hoping that they have all the tools they need to get through this round, but Vatra Diamond is in their way still.
Yeah, and Vatra Diamond is one thing to consider about them is that they have like repeatedly made it to the later stages of the tournament in the open qualifiers, and it hasn't necessarily paid off. Slash Heart E-Girl is a bit of a different story, right? I think might be our first time spectating them on stream or even at all. It's not an uncommon strategy to just wait for the last chance qualifiers and then try and qualify for the playoffs through that. So it's a last chance for some of the teams that have been playing in the first 3 open qualifiers, but maybe even the only chance for players who decide to set that limitation upon themselves. In EU, I believe in our previous season's Navi, every single BrawlMSTRS season, they won the last chance qualifiers and did not play a single game, or maybe like played 1 game in the previous qualifiers. It's definitely a strat. Of course, both of these teams want to head on later in this tournament. We do see the M's pick actually from Slash Heart E-Girls. It's going to be CR7 picking up that one. Slash and Lukey working together on the Max and Rosa duo. Vatra Diamond responding with a full team of tank counters.
Yeah, as I said, that's one of the comps you can go here. It is B, a Rico, and a Spike. Lukey, though, with the Rosa pick, is going to struggle against a Spike, and I mean, that's not too surprising considering that, I mean, yeah, 3 tank counters from Vatra Diamond. You do expect them. Wow, and actually, Ablamed gets a little bit too close, even though he finds a kill. Axel, though, passed this one right onto Atlantis, and that's going to be a first goal for Vatra Diamond. They definitely brought the counter comp here against these Rosa in the tanks. Ems obviously doesn't have the range to deal with the Rico. So yeah, just a good pick from Vatra Diamond here. They've got to play defense, but yeah, that's one thing this comp can really do well. Alanis is gonna, I'm not sure what happened there, but he didn't get the gadget off correctly or something because he did not get any healing. Slash though, and Lukey just camping out in the mid. Lukey switching his lane to the right hand side. I don't think that's gonna help them too much, but it's a little bit better. Now, CR7, can you get the sneak onto the Spike? Does get the sneak, doesn't get the kill. Axel does get the kill though, and that's going to be big trouble for Slash's team here, as they do hold the mid, but do not hold a goal point for themselves. Lukey finding a kill in that back left side is going to be useful. Slash needs to pass this ball up so they can find a goal, and they do. Tying it up is Slash Love E-Girls.
Okay, next goal is going to result in a match point for either Slash Heart E-Girls or Vatra Diamond. The stakes are super high. Let's see how it turns out, though. Slash and Lukey won't be able to roll out anytime soon. Slash needs to get that next super. Ouch! And he is going to take some serious damage from Axel. A Beamlek also trying to slow things down over here versus Lukey. Lukey is dodging out the damage pretty well, but you can only do that for so long. These walls are about to break down. It's going to be a huge disadvantage for Lukey. Here comes the speed, though. They're the unfriendly bushes. No one really gets slowed down by that, but Lukey is going to go for it still. And CR7 lays down the super. Do we see the pass of Lukey? Yes, in fact, but Lukey won't be able to get in the goal just yet. For a little bit longer, he would have been able to toss it towards that box as it broke, but for now, he is going to have to pay with his life. There's a slow on his Slash. Taking one of the fastest brawlers to the slowest. No way! No way! And Slash gets it in. And that is going to be Slash Heart E-Girls heading to the match point.
Wow, that was not a good situation for Slash's team. Going into overtime, obviously they were going to struggle, so Slash knew it was now or never. If he didn't make that goal, this match might have been over. That game might have been over. But yeah, really good play. Slash knows his max, that's for sure. Puts one in the goal and takes his team to match point.
I think that's wild because he got his super, like, I think maybe during his gadget, and then he was ready to go. So, I mean, if we rolled back an instant replay on that one, we'd be able to really make the analysis, but that could be like a big brain play there. You know, you get your super during your gadget, right? It doesn't show immediately, and then you sneak it in. I can tell you for sure, Vatra Diamond, they probably could have defended that had they known that there was going to be a super, but man, that was absolutely beautiful there by Slash. I think that was a second PogChamp play that we've seen today. Earlier, we saw Poyo get the double kill and the comeback with Rico, and now it's going to be Slash clutching the goal mid-gadget with the super. So huge stuff for Slash Heart E-Girls. It's going to be the 3rd win in a row after they swept the second set, and now they are 1 game away from claiming this match.
Yeah, that's right. And hey, they might just go with the same thing. I mean, it's pretty solid, and they were able to win against a bad matchup. So, I mean, hey, that says a lot about how well they know how to play these brawlers, and they should be confident that they could probably just do it again. You want to make the other team like overthink and maybe pick the wrong comps, but no, it is going to be the tank counters versus the tank counters. But as I said before, again, I mean, as I'm usually right, Sprout, yeah, he just counters all these brawlers, and that's exactly what Vatra Diamond is going to be up against here. As Luki, one of the best Sprouts in the game, is going to be just harassing the B, the Spike, and the Rico from all angles.
Okay, Luki now pushing up with the Sprout. Axel is going to be hurting because of this one. Ooh, and in one fell swoop, down goes Axel and that honeypot. Alianis now trying to get the defense, but he's at the center of 3 crossfires. And once again, there's the castle. I believe this is a chess analogy. Someone got castled in the back right corner. Slashheart E-Girls, though, it's going to be more favorable for them than for Vatra Diamond. Let's see what a Beamlik's able to do. Damage is tanked up. Patchy Pirate, aka CR7, will be able to walk it in. That is Slashheart E-Girls now just 1 game away from advancing onto the quarterfinals.
I mean, yeah, if you're Vatra Diamond here, there's genuinely nothing you can do. This Sprout is so oppressive. None of your brawlers even have a shot against him, to be honest. I mean, they all get 3 shots. It's just simple as that. There is no way for Vatra to win this. Slash gonna put this one right in the goal. Yep. A little bit fancy there, but he does get the job done. Slash E-Girls is going to the round of 8 after a close 2-1 win against Vatra Diamond.
That is amazing. GG for that. Good stuff by Slashheart E-Girls at Vatra Diamond, though. They put it all out there, too. They did get hard countered very hard, so double down on the hardness of the hard counter there. In the last game, I mean, Sprout, as you said, so oppressive, and to top it all off, Slash getting a couple of crazy goals in there. We saw the first one in game number 1. Game number 2, the final goal as well. I wanted to say a little bit of showmanship, but I think it actually was necessary for him to throw down the life plant to pick up that last goal, so he didn't get taken out by Spike. I think just a great all-around play by Slashheart E-Girls and by Vatra Diamond. Unfortunately, Vatra Diamond will not be advancing on. It'll just be Slashheart E-Girls, but I'm definitely hopeful to see what they have going forward. We got our bracket ready to go. Let's take a look. It's our bracket powered by G Fuel Knight.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, we see a lot of the teams here that we already watched earlier today. And yeah, if anyone was curious in the Gallant versus America Esports game, it was America Esports that came out on top. I'm feeling like that game might have been a DQ, but nevertheless, they are going to have Ododo versus America Esports on the right-hand side, Revenge Tour versus Sorvetino, and LDU versus Slash E-Girls. Those are 2 teams we just watched. Quantum Gaming versus AN Esports. Yeah, these are our teams who have a chance at the semifinals. Who are your favorites, though? Let us know in the chat. We are going to be cutting to a break, and we'll see you right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Brawl Masters. I'm still ready set. That is still Knight to my knowledge. And we'll be getting into O.O versus America Esports to start us off in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, this is going to be a good match for sure. O.O, obviously a lot of people's favorites for today's bottom side of the bracket. Yeah, the bottom side of the bracket. Or right-hand side of the bracket, as we saw earlier. But yeah, these guys are your favorites for sure. American Esports, though, they did push through Gallant Esports earlier today. Even though we didn't see the match, it did indeed happen. They were able to win 2-0, so they are on a hot streak here. But yeah, let's see what the teams have done in terms of preparation, because again, we're going into Hard Rock Mine dry season and Sneaky Fields. No surprise about that. So teams probably already know what each other are playing. Just simply if they go to Brawl Stats, check any API, they should know. Let's see how these teams have prepared throughout the week to know these maps. And the bans are on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Take a look. It is Sprout, Mortis, Buzz, and Ash. Looks like O.O taking tips from Stamina Esports with that Sprout ban today.
I was thinking the same thing. It's interesting to see the Sprout ban. And also the Ash as the first ban is one that is particularly, does stand out to me as well, because it makes it seem like Ash and Sprout were both brawlers that they wanted to make sure were banned, right? It was important for them to ban Ash first so that they could have an open spot to ban, another brawler last, provided that Ash was not banned by America Esports. So with that said, interesting that we've seen Mortis banned once again, actually, because Mortis, didn't get banned too much prior to the changes, prior to him getting Coiled Snake integrated with his normal kit, and now he's getting banned pretty much every game. Only our last game did we not see Mortis get banned, and even then he wasn't really played. Buzz was also banned though, and Buzz is banned yet again. So these seem to be the go-to bans of the current meta.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't say it was the current meta, but the current meta of these maps totally makes sense to ban Mortis because of the situation on Hard Rock Mine and dry season, because we've got a lot of those long-range brawlers, we got a lot of those throwers, and it just makes sense to take Mortis out of the equation. Even with that nerf, as we've said before, 1800 to 1400 is not a huge impactful change. At the end of the day, he's getting still a huge amount of healing just from finding a kill, and yeah, he gets most of the healing from those super chains anyway. So yeah, Mortis is still really, really good and just really viable on Hard Rock Mine and Bounty, especially when there's a Belt or a Piper or a Brock or a Rico, something he can harass really, really easily.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit salty that Creepy Harvest did get nerfed the way it did, because I never wanted Coiled Snake, I was always a Creepy Harvest combo spinner main, and then okay, here comes along Coiled Snake getting integrated with the normal kit, and then boom, they nerf Creepy Harvest. Like, what if they just nerfed Coiled Snake? I don't know, man. But hey, it's just my opinion. I miss old Creepy Harvest though. In any case, though, Hard Rock Mine has started us off. No Sprout, no Mortis either. And I think the Sprout ban was a good response to the Mortis ban, given that the absence of Mortis makes that brawler very, very viable. We've also seen just what a Sprout can do on a Rico lane, and O.O, I do expect that we'll be seeing a Rico on the lane. America Esports also, just as a result of the brawlers that have been taken out of the meta in this particular match, we can expect to see them running the Rico as well. Let's see, though, how it turns out. We're going to be getting into game number 1, starting off on Hard Rock Mine for a little bit of gym grab action. Knight, I'm liking the comp here. Interesting that we see the Sprout over here, or rather not Sprout, Spike going on the left lane.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Toast is not here today, but we do have Fade, Minwoo, and Luffy. Looks like Luffy is slowly coming back to O.O after the Masters League. Fade, though, going to be winning this left-hand lane against RBM with the help of Minwoo. Luffy, though, going to have to push back up against Frixie on the Mr. P using that new Dracula skin. Yeah, it's looking like a good start for O.O. They've got a lot of control of this mid area. They are short one player though, but they are up 5 gems, which is, in my opinion, pretty significant. They're 50% of the way to the goal. Minwoo going for number 7 and 8. coming right up here as Fade uses the super to push that Piper off that mid zone. So much control here for O.O. Minwoong is basically at full health. Fade gonna go down though, but a great super from Luffy. Wow, they're just dominating here. 10 gems to nothing. Minwoong though needs to probably start backing up now, and we're just still waiting for the pin and the spin. Just give him a second though. 6 seconds left in regulation. Yeah, well, there's the super backwards.
Ouch, and down come the tears from Minwoong, those Gene tears. It is going to be a sweep by O.O to start things off. Of course, not a sweep match-wise or set-wise, just on a single game basis, but it was definitely a strong start. I guess really what I'm trying to say here. Good stuff. America Esports, though, definitely put a good foot forward here. This was their choice of map, though, and it is certainly upsetting from their side to see that first game go the way of O.O. It could totally change. It's going to require some huge action, though. Yeah,
absolutely. O.O, they just dominated there, and if they want to do that again, maybe they just bring the same comp. Who knows? But yeah, Gene didn't even have to find any pulls, just be able to poke and hold control with the amazing shots that Luffy and Fade were hitting is probably enough for the side of O.O there. And yeah, they get the job done. America Esports needs to make a big shift in their strategy. Maybe they honestly opt for the Gene. Just go for the same comp. Who knows? They've got to pull this one back though.
Yeah, I mean, go for the same comp, right? If it's something that works and is really solid, then there's no problem with going for the same comp. What you do have to consider is whether the enemy is going to try and counter that. Because if you go something that's like really solid, maybe has like one counter, then I think your opponent will probably be able to identify that there's a good chance that you are sticking with it. So definitely some strategy to be involved with that. It's going to require good predictions from both sides. As always, you're always trying to predict what your enemy is going to play. Let's see, though. Of course, it's hard for us to predict. Maybe most certainly the players are better at making the predictions than we are. Let's get a look. O.O are going to be picking up the Meg here to go on the left lane, Luffy on the Rico on the right lane. America Esports, they respond with the Stew versus Luffy. That is, at the start of the game, going to be a suboptimal matchup for America Esports for Betiches, but once he gets that breakthrough, or if he's even using it, doesn't look like he's using breakthrough. It is going to be a tough matchup for Betiches on the right side. RBM, though, does pick up some control on the back lines of O.O. America Esports do have good control of this map to start things off.
Yeah, Minwoong is going to go ahead and pop that mech for Meg. And notice something he did there that I think everybody should be picking up on is that a nice pull from Frixie. Gonna find some gems. Yeah, Minwoong did heal up all the way to 3,000 first before actually popping that super, because when Meg exits the robot, you don't want to just be at like 50 health and just die immediately, right? And see here, he has 3,000 health, so it can actually give him enough room to actually even escape. Maybe he does, barely doesn't, and now Frixie is going to be tagged. They have a lot of gems in the possession of America Esports. Frixie goes straight to the middle, picking up a few more, 3 in the back left. That should be 10 gems if they just retreat here. O.O needs to find a kill on the Betuchas if they want to have a chance to reset.
All right, O.O really got to bring this one back. Minwoong does fall. Frixie just has a little bit of health left, especially with that damage amp. He is in danger, but with some good dodges and great support there from Betiches and RBM, it is going to be a win here for America Esports. They bring that one back, and it's going to be 1 versus 1 for set number 1. Good stuff, America Esports. They stop the momentum from O.O, and well, we see a 1 versus 1 for set number 1. It's really going to be a tough call, right? Because America Esports, this is their set of choice. O.O, it probably would be their set of choice too, though.
That's right. It is a a set decider here in Hard Rock Mine. Obviously, both teams want to have a great momentum going into this match, which will be probably very, very close if we can already gain some insight after our first 2 games here. Maybe the Meg pick from O.O was not exactly what they were looking for. Not sure what they were expecting, and still I'm not 100% sure about what Meg is good against. Probably tanks. But yeah, probably Minwoong just trying to have fun. Hey, who knows? It could be so many different things. But yeah, O.O probably should opt for the previous comp they went with that seemed to just destroy America Esports. So maybe they will. Spike looking like a pretty good option still. Rico, obviously a good option. Gene, yeah, obviously Gene is really strong. Frixie made really good use of those pulls in that last game and was able to help America Esports stay in the game here in this first set of Gem Grab.
Yep, it is going to be really intense as we're heading into game number 3. Our team's taking their time to decide on the comps because a lot rides on this. Bounty, of course, is going to be potentially a match point for one of these teams. O.O, they're bringing out the Rico and the Colonel Ruffs and the Gene. America Esports respond with the Gene Max Sandy. Okay, this looks a little bit like February, but we are getting to that time of the year. It is almost winter time, and we are going to be coming full circle for the meta.
Yeah, Max, Sandy, and Gene. This is one we haven't seen in a while. Ruffs, though, is a pretty good option until you're playing up against a Sandy. Actually, one of the things that Ruffs really struggles against, because obviously those bags don't really do you any good for winning the lane, which is what Ruffs usually does. First buff, though, is going to be going in the direction of Minwoong, though. And Betuches is looking to speed up some of his amigos back here. Frixie now going to be going in on Minwoong, trying to find that Sweet Dreams. But oh no, a little bit of a tickle from the Gene is going to invalidate that stun almost immediately. Pull from RBM out the phase. Sandy super down for America Esports. This is their opportunity to find those kills onto the lanes, especially those brawlers with a ton of buffs right now. Betucha is just poking away, trying to find that next super. 7 gems to 3, but keep in mind, Minwoong is buffed up. Pull onto Frixie, Luffy buffed up as well. Fade trying to find that third super to give himself that extra boost that he needs. 5 to 7, and it's looking better and better for O.O.
Scoreline does favor America Esports here. Frixie pushes in on the right lane. Well, ooh, that was almost a kill onto Luffy. I'm surprised Luffy got so close to Frixie and didn't get burned too hard. In any case, though, Luffy stays alive. Bitches still is trying to establish his zone of control. RBM, ooh, a huge super there from Luffy. And the big pull by Minwoong as well. Amazing comeback there by O.O. 16 gems on their side. Okay, good pull there by RBM on the Luffy. He's going to stay alive, though, and he's not even the main objective to get. Luffy comes back from behind, Minwoong hiding behind the sandbags. That is going to be O.O. closing out this set for the win. And that is not how America Esports wanted this one to go on multiple levels. Of course, you never want to lose a set, but this is one that America Esports chose to be at set number 1. It's certainly where they expected and were hoping that they could get the win. And O.O. will get their set of preference to perhaps establish that match point.
Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles in our first set here. Pretty close games, but Minwoong honestly just showed his dominance on the Gene at the end there with a great pull onto the opposing Gene, securing them the win despite having to fight through a lot of enemy Sandy supers. Bounty, though, is going to be our next mode. Going to see a vastly different meta. If I see Max here again, I might be a little bit concerned. But yeah, looking forward to more Russ, more Gene, and maybe a little bit of Tick. Let's see what these teams decide to go with.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, right? We saw the double throwers a lot. Of course, Mortis, Buzz banned out, so it's going to be more present than ever. And Knight, we also talked about the potential of wall break. Now, the only wall break sort of potential that we saw in previous games was the presence of Brock, but Brock was running rocket laces instead of rocket fuel, so I don't know if it really counted. Another thing to account for, though, is Bell, right, is going to be a strong option. Nest eggs are going to be littering the middle of the map. Also, Leon is in play if any teams want to play that, right? It's entirely realistic that both teams run some kind of sharpshooter, and Leon is really a huge difference maker in the Sniper 1v1.
Yeah, Sniper 1v1s are basically what decides these bounty games, whether you're a Nani against a Piper, a Nani against a Bell, or a Brock versus a Piper. You've got to know how to win all these individual matchups to be able to win your lane, win the game. I mean, it's just that simple. On the other hand, though, you've got to know how to win those thrower matchups. I mean, Tick versus Tick is something that we've seen over and over again, but the matchup honestly is pretty difficult to master. I mean, we see top ticks such as Luki like consistently pushing their enemies back, as we've seen previously. And yeah, when you push your enemy tick back, you can use those mines to lay down just a crazy amount of control on those other lanes as well. So Tick is a really good brawler on dry season, and these teams got to know how to utilize him best.
Yep, well, we'll have to see as these teams are getting ready. I believe we are going to be getting into the first game already. Let's see what the picks are and how our teams have prepared. It is going to be an eerily similar comp from O.O. We do see the Gene coming out once again, as well as that Colonel Ruffs. Luffy will be switching onto the Tick, though. Frixie, RBM on the Colonel Ruffs, and the Gene as well. The mirror match is looking good for America Esports so far, as they have a comfortable 3-star lead, but they better not get too comfortable, as it can quickly change with just a kill onto Frixie to tie up the score.
Yeah, first buff though is going to be going to the Gene on the side of O.O. On the other hand, America Esports is going to be delivering that first treat to the Tooches. Yeah, the Tooches is on that right-hand side with the buff, though. Not taking too much advantage of the Ruff's star power, though. So it's not going to have as much value as the Gene with the buff does here on the left-hand side. And yeah, they're going in with that Gene pull. 6,000 health Gene. The funny thing is, even if they do manage to pull him, it's really hard to get the kill sometimes. He'll just use that gadget, if he has it, and just run away. Luffy, though, going to be working hard on this right-hand side against Patuchas in a lane where he is not really favored, doesn't have a buff yet. Now going to be picking up the buff, has a 200 health advantage roughly, and 4-star deficit for O.O. though. So they've got to figure out how to win this one in the last 30 seconds of regulation. Minwoong doesn't have a pull, but RBM is holding on to one himself. Fade now pushing up on the right-hand side, head first, crash into each other. Still, RBM is holding this pull really, really dangerously, but Fade has back. Oh no! I feel like RBM should have known a little bit better there, but that's still going to be a kill for America Esports.
All right, O.O will claim a few stars here, just 3. America Esports now backed all the way up. Fade is going to be looking for the kill on a Frixie, though. It could be the beginning of something. No, in fact, it is not. Minwoong gets pulled right at the end, and America Esports will be getting this first game win.
Yeah, America Esports taking their second win of the set now, actually evening things up, but they don't have a set in their name. They've got to figure out how to win a bounty match here, or they're going to be going to a match point and maybe a match loss. Knocking out O.O would give them a huge amount of momentum to push forward and actually even have a chance to win this entire thing, but it's not it's not looking like an easy path for sure, as O.O knows how to make comebacks, as they've done time and time before. Let's see how they adjust their plays, because I think that first start is really, really important. Being able to have that first start and just chill, sitting back with your Gene Super, with your health buffs, that's really what counts in Bounty in the mirror matchup. Having the most value out of your Ruffs, basically.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how things come along in the next game. Of course, it is not the match point that O.O was hoping for. America Esports, though, can bring this one back. It's very, very, very possible that they do, in fact. But if they do want to bring it back, they're going to have to go all the way to set number 3 and fight their way through Sneaky Fields as well. So there's going to be a challenge in its own. O.O, if they get a couple of wins in a row, then they'll be able to claim the win for themselves and head on to the semifinals. So we will see how it turns out. I think it was a good start for America Esports in the last game. O.O almost brought it back in the last game, but unfortunately, yeah, did not necessarily go their way. We'll see how things turn out in game number 2 as we are going to be getting into it right now.
Wow, 3 tanks up against a Ruffs and a Gene. Not the ideal match, especially because this comp is just so well-rounded. But RBM not having the lamp blow is going to be a little bit of a disadvantage here, as Luffy can easily corner them. No real way for them to knock back. Yeah, without that lamp blow, they're kind of screwed, to be honest. But yeah, they've got to pick up those buffs slowly. I'm not sure why. No, Gene pull goes to nothing. They now pick. Okay, yeah, this one's. This one might already be in the books for O.O, unless they can pick up a kill on the Luffy. 1 minute 20 seconds left in regulation, and it doesn't seem like they have a buff for the Gene, which is going to be the one you mainly want to focus on, because he can pull those big fat tanks and still be alive after. I mean, if you pull a tank with only 5,000 health on you, you're probably going to lose that interaction, actually. So RBM needs to be careful about who he pulls, because he might lead his own team's demise with the wrong auto-aim pull. Who knows?
All right, America Esports now. Ooh, big kills. O.O will be taking a massive lead here. Luffy and Min Woong will be able to retreat. O.O, they're going to keep up the pressure, though. America Esports having to back up, trying to lure O.O into their clutches. O.O know that they will lose if they get backed up all the way to their spawn, so there we go. Big stuff for America Esports to start bringing it back. Betches will get to pick up the power-up. Min Woong also trying to get the retreat, does get taken down. O.O will still have the lead. They are backed up all the way now. It could be pretty grim for them if America Esports are able to get this. A big super by Fade, and it's really all over. This is O.O claiming game number 1 of set number 2.
Yeah, that one's not going to happen, unfortunately. Fade just being the MVP there. So many really value supers. What he did there was he pulled all those enemies together, let the BB get value, let himself get value. All of them got tons of value, just sweeping kills all across the board. Yeah, that's going to be a easy bounty win for O.O. Now they're on match point, but they're not out of the water yet. If America Esports takes this set, they could be going to Brawl Ball.
Yep, it could turn out really either way here. I mean, we saw a domination by America Esports, then domination by O.O. It does come down to a little bit of rock, paper, scissors action here. What comp you choose is a huge element in this. So, I mean, this is going to be rock, paper, scissors for the last game. Now, on Sneaky Fields, it's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, you can play tanks. Yeah, you can play the tank counter, right? But I think the safer option is going to be to play the tank counters. We'll see, though. Let's get into it for game number 3 of set number 2. Luffy will be picking up the bell here. Fade. Wonder what lane he's going to be going. Looks like O.O is all grouped up together. Betches and RBM sneaking around, trying to close things in. O.O, they're getting completely surrounded. It's not looking too good.
Yeah, tanks from the side of America Esports, though. This is not something I'm surprised about. RBM is a notorious tank player, and Batuchas is a really, really good BB player, as we know. And yeah, even though they have a bell on the side of O.O, it's not going to be easy. I think it's pretty even in terms of matchup, but it's still not that great for O.O. Oh no, and the pull doesn't make it to the Poco. Poco, though, still is tagged, and Min Woong's probably trying to find that kill. They do manage to pinch Frixie there, and RBM opts to not use a pneumatic booster to go up on the Gene, even though Gene probably doesn't have the lamp blowout. Batuchas now on the right-hand side, RBM following in from the left. Not going to get anything done, though. And yeah, O.O is playing really good. They're playing not as individual ballers, but they're playing as a complete unit here, as they get so much value out of the Ruff's field promotion, and Gene, Val, all pulling those enemies together and getting a lot of eliminations. Min Woong doing such a great job, hitting every single pull. Crying Pin goes out. He knows this one is most likely over, unless they do something really, really wrong in these last 30 seconds.
All right, 13-13. O.O have a comfortable lead here. They can't get back to all the way up, though. Luffy does have that super ready to go, and everyone's all powered up. Ooh, and RBM just gets absolutely melted. Frixie, similar story. The thumbs down. Protesto comes out. There's no way for America Esports to come back at this point. O.O, they're all grouping up just to kind of bait RBM and Betches, just to tease them a little, but it's not going to happen. O.O will be taking this win, and they're headed on to the semifinals.
Yeah, our first semifinalist here is O.O. Obviously, actually, maybe not. Some teams probably already played, I just didn't see. But yeah, O.O is one of your semifinalists, let's say that. On the other side of the bracket are probably LDU trying to fight their way through. And I'm not sure what happened to Revenge Tour, but I think they might be coming through. Yeah, we'll just have to wait. Good start from O.O here against a really solid roster. And yeah, they were able to put up a good match, American Esports. They should leave this match with their heads held high. We hope to see them back next season because they definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, O.O, they played beautifully, clearly know what they're doing. America Esports, I mean, similar story, right? They know what they're doing. It just seems like O.O had some, good mechanics in certain places, and also they had the right picks at the right time, which is absolutely everything when you're competing in a best of 3, and just 2 sets can spell your defeat. So America Esports, unfortunately, they won't be heading to the playoffs, and O.O, which we pretty much addressed as the likely winner of that 4th spot, will be advancing on. For now, though, let's get a look at LDU versus Slash Heart E-Girls. We watched both of these teams earlier, actually, and Slash Heart E-Girls, they're looking pretty clean, I must say.
Yeah, they were looking good in that earlier match, but at the same time, LDU is a really good team as well. This one should be a good match as we decide who will be. Yeah, this is another semifinal spot up for grabs. Oh, we're going to be playing Split today, actually. Bounty's going to be the ban from Slash's team. Yeah, Hard Rock Mine going first, as usual.
Yeah, Sneaky Fields goes second, which is a little bit unorthodox. Split in rotation today is another one that sticks out to me like a sore thumb. Let's take a look at the bans, though. Maybe a little bit of normal stuff here. Yeah, it is going to be the Ash, Mortis, and Buzz bans, as per usual. Our 4th is going to be Byron, actually, which is a little bit interesting, given that we have not seen that banned yet today. A welcome change for sure. It's going to be making a larger impact, if you ask me, on Hard Rock Mine than anywhere else. Sneaky Fields definitely could, but Split, something tells me that we won't even go on to Split. Slash Heart E-Girls will be getting a good start on Hard Rock Mine, as we saw in their last game. Sneaky Fields, I would say this is also a potential Slash Heart E-Girls win. I'm interested in why LDU Esports didn't go for a split second.
Yeah, so in this first, I think the bans will affect this match a lot because Byron is something we've seen almost every single game, especially on these maps where you can run tanks. Byron's just such a good combo with Jackie. It's good with actually Frank, who we haven't really seen yet. Good with Rosa. All those big boys. Yeah, Byron's just a good mid on Hard Rock Mine. The brawlers are going to have to be like Belle, Piper, or Jean, as we've seen before in this mid area. Lanes can still be Rico or Sprout or Ruffs. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Ruffs actually today, which I'm surprised about. I did not think Ruffs was back into the meta just yet.
Yeah, not quite yet, right? But hey, I mean, he has been working out pretty well so far, so I would definitely like to see just a little bit more of him, definitely love this brawler and like the kind of dynamic that he brings to the game, where you're really playing the long game, right? You got to hang on to that power up for a while and play for control and keep the control for a really, really long time. Sneaky Fields, I'm looking forward to, in particular, of course, we got to get through Hard Rock Mine first, but this is going to be a good test of skill to see which team is just all around mechanically, as far as like synergies between the teammates as well, good at the game, right? Because Hard Rock Mine is the true litmus test of Brawl Stars. It's been in the game so long. It's like the quintessential map, the quintessential mode of Brawl Stars. So even off of just game number 1, I think we'll be able to get a pretty good idea of who is heading on to the semifinals and who is not. Oh. All right, well, we're going to be getting in the game. Let's see. LDU Esports are going to be picking out the Tara and Belle and Rico here. Knight, I believe you were practicing a Spike impression earlier, but we have you back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I think my mic was not working for a second, but yeah, we do have an 8-bit on the side of LDU Esports here. No, that's Slash's team. And Stu is on the left trying to find a kill onto Pain, which they do, despite the gadget, which makes it a little bit difficult sometimes.
Okay, Slash now coming around the right side. Is going to get pulled by iPain. Slash does get taken down. Poyo and iPain pushing up around the left side. Carlitos also trying to get around this right side, but all he has to do really is hold back CR7. iPain circles around the back, and Poyo keeps control at mid. Big long-range kill by Carlitos, and CR7 does get the kill to interrupt the countdown, which is going to be absolutely instrumental for Slash Heart E-Girls to start bringing back this game. Slash is already going right after Carlitos, but it's a lane diff for Carlitos. Meanwhile, on the left side, CR7 still holding on to those 2 gems. He is going to go for the long-range damage versus Poyo, but it's not going to happen. That healing shape is keeping him alive and healthy, and LDU Esports will be bringing back this countdown.
Yeah, good picks from them, honestly. I mean, Bell, great against 8-Bit, Tara, great against Stu, and I mean, Rico, you just play the matchup. Wow, it's going to be a kill here from Slash's team, but I don't think it's too impactful, as there's no way for Luki, who's the only one who can really grab gems and get out of there, to get anything done, unfortunately. Slash going to try to get up here with the Stu, but without a breakthrough gadget, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to find a kill. First game here is going to LDU Esports. Yeah, good start, good comp. I mean, they just do what they've been doing, which is playing this map really patiently, picking up those gems. They know what they're doing, absolutely.
Yep, good patient play there by Slash Hard Eagles and LDU Esports. I mean, able to bring it back pretty well. I think that, I mean, it's kind of a tough call, right? But I think it was like a bit of a lane mismatch there for Stu versus Rico. It was definitely favorable for LDU Esports in that regard, and that is something that will definitely change in the next game. Given that Rico is such a prevalent brawler on this map, that I don't really see him going anywhere. So Slash Hard Eagles, I'd say they still have a very good chance of bringing it back, but as I said right before anything started, this is the litmus test, right? This is the test of how the remainder of the game is going to go, and it's looking a lot better for LDU Esports than I might have expected going in.
Yeah, they are definitely a team who has earned their spot here, and they played that one well. And not only within the game, but outside of the game, they had the correct preparations to be able to find that success. Obviously, their analyst or manager, whoever was behind the scenes there, maybe I think it was Peter, yeah, he did a good job. Or it was Shazzer, I don't know which one it was, but whoever was doing it found the right counter. Probably was watching earlier. But yeah, going into this next game, Slash's team does have an idea of what these guys are up to, and maybe they switch to something a little bit safer. Maybe not 8-Bit because they know they might not be going tanks. Let's take a look. It is going to be actually a Stu from the side of LDU Esports, and now, wow, they've got the roughs for this Stu. That's going to make it really difficult for Payne to get anything done, because, I mean, it's a no-brainer. That counters the Stu, but hey, he has a breakthrough gadget. He's actually going to win that Rico interaction pretty early on. Maybe Slash's team didn't really notice that there was no speed zone open, which meant that there would be a breakthrough coming in that left-hand side. Map's going to be opened up so that Rico's probably going to struggle a little bit more against the Stu in this matchup now. Payne needs to find a super, probably trying to break that 2x3 wall down there so he can't really get spawn trapped. Slash, though, buffed and has his first turret. Let's see how Poyo keeps his control as he picks up those last 3 gems that LDU Esports really needs here.
All right, Slash Hard Eagles now coming around the right side. Pocho is going to be trying to clear out the sandbags, though. Oop, and looks like the little ricochet did not make it through the obstacle there. No big, though. Pocho still going to be pushing over to mid. Slash on the 8-Bit is trying. Pain pushing forward also will get countered out by those sandbags. Really good start by LDU, but it is starting to turn in favor of Slash Hard Eagles. Good counterplay by Slash to play around the Bell pick here, because it is a pretty tough counter for him. Bell is pretty much the reason that 8-Bit has not been in the meta for a while, but Slash Hard Eagles are handling it pretty well. That said, though, LDU Esports are just 2 gems away from starting the countdown.
Yeah, Payne forces the 8-Bit to retreat here, which opens up so much room for LDU to grab that 10th gem, and they do. Payne gonna be trying to take out Slash here. I think Slash is dead. Yeah, he's dead. 13 seconds left, and I don't think Slash's team can access Polio back here. 6 seconds left. Yeah, there's just no way. First set is gonna be going to LDU Esports.
Good stuff for LDU Esports. That is Slash Hard Eagles, not so much. This was the map that they were hoping to get cleared out quickly, but it seems like now they're going to have to be going through Split in order to get that win. I was not expecting LDU Esports to have such a standout performance, but you know what? I will take it. LDU, they have been here in every single open qualifier, and it is definitely showing their expertise with this format, the draft format, of course, of Brawl Masters. Though we will be getting into set number 2, LDU Esports' choice, Slashheart Eagles. They could be getting the win here. They'll need to if they want to head on to the semifinals. And I think that both teams will be doing it pretty well here. It's going to be evenly matched. What really Slashheart Eagles need to rely on here is not getting countered, because that's what happened in the first 2 games. Is LDU Esports had like one lane that they countered on, and it just completely disrupted the flow of the entire game.
Yeah, that one push from them, and just having a really good lead in terms of gems. I mean, starting 7-0 is just a great way to ensure that you're going to have the best chance for pulling that game back. Despite the opponent picking up actually a significant amount of gems and a momentum, having all of those buffs, yeah, Stu able to put a lot of pressure, forcing those enemies back, gave the battle a lot of room to pick up just even more gems and secure the win there for LDU. Going into Brawl Ball, though, this is where we see a little bit more of the counter picks, because Sneaky Field is kind of a sus map, as they say. B, Sprout, and Frank, those are 3 brawlers that each have their respective roles in countering. Payne, though, going to be throwing down his first hedge to block out the Rosa and block out the Max. It's going to be up to him to find another wall, though. Can he do it? Wow, beautiful. The Slash just going to eat up that wall with the Frank super. Yeah, this is going to be pretty difficult. Sprout is not really too impactful against Rosa, Max, and a Frank, that is for sure. But Polio has a big role to play as he tries to pick up kills with those long-range Bs.
All right, LDU bringing something out on the left side. They do have the B ready for the counter. Big stun by Carlitos on the right side, and the irresistible attraction there with the gadget. Carlitos now rushing up mid. Pollo with the super to slow down Lukey. A big super by Carlitos. Will we see the ankle breaker? No need. Carlitos gets to walk it right in. That is goal number 1 of 2 needed to head on to the match point. LDU Esports are looking pretty good. I find it interesting that we see the Sprout pick here. Sprout will be able to outrange CR7. So far, he's not really getting much damage. He is able to lock down this lane versus Lukey, though, and Lukey is pretty much put out of commission as a result.
Wow, Carlitos trying to sneak that one in. It's not going to happen. And I'm actually curious as to why none of these players are running Power Grab. They're actually both opting for Sponge, which, honestly, as a bit of a Frank expert myself, I don't 100% agree with. But Carlitos does find a stun onto Lukey here. Oh, good wall by Payne. Maybe not communicated because Juan Carlos did already back off from the Rosa because he saw the Frank was coming. But maybe if that was communicated, Payne would be like, okay, I gotta wall this off. Keep shooting that Rosa, you're just gonna be fine. That would have been a little bit better. But 25 seconds left, ball is in the top right corner. It looks like LDU Esports wants to run down this clock because with AB in overtime, I mean, I think it's fairly obvious what you can do with AB in overtime. Ball is all the way at the back, nowhere to be found. 10 seconds left. Looks like Lukey was sent to find the ball. Slash, oh no, not going to be stunned out by Juan Carlos. This is not looking good for LDU Esports. Yep, just going to put it right in after collecting the ball. Yep, first game for Slash E-Girls here in the second set of Brawl Ball.
And to think we were so close to seeing LDU Esports head on to the match point, but no, Slashheart E-Girls, they bring it back. And, well, one more win here, and we're going to be heading on a split, which is going to be a real challenge, honestly, given that it really is one of those inconsistent maps that can go either way. But it is going to make for an exciting match in any case, provided, of course, that we make it there. We still got at least one more game of Brawl Ball to get through. Now, breaking down that last game, it just seems like in OT, Sprout just was not able to do much. One goal by Slashheart E-Girls, and, you know, you're pretty much headed to OT guaranteed. And LDU Esports just weren't able to deal with it with the Sprout. So perhaps doing away with the Sprout would get a slight advantage for LDU Esports. It was very clear that the Frank was working wonders for them and would not shock me at all if they stick with it. B, also pretty impactful there. Would expect to see that one in the next game as well.
Yeah, we could be looking at more Frank matchups here, but if they know they're playing against tanks, it makes a lot of sense to run Power Grab because with Frank, he doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so it's not that impactful against like a Rosa, but if you're running Power Grab, bam, you 3-shot a Rosa, and that's pretty impactful if you ask me. And yeah, 2600 damage per shot, that's just huge. And it makes so much sense to run it with the Irresistible Attraction gadget because it does like 5206 damage or something around those lines. I don't really remember, but yeah, it's 5200, and that's just so much damage that you can be dishing out. Let's take a look at the next game, though. We do see Frank from both teams again. It is looking like a mirror from Slash's team, but we do see a little bit of a switch up here from LDU as they go with... Oh, Juan Carlos going to be throwing a Frank Super all the way to the left. Maybe someone tell him that it doesn't show up immediately like a Coco Super. But yeah, it's going to be Pain taking out Slash there, and now they've got to delete Lukey somehow. 2,000 health left. Yeah, not going to make it through. Patchy Pirate slowed in the middle. Pain is looking to move up and find more kills. He does. Control now in favor of LDU Esports.
Okay, Slash Heart Eagles now. On the right side, Lukey is having a little bit of trouble getting up here. He is going to go behind, really depending on his teammates to keep up the pressure on the left side. iPain does have that super ready to go, but he's not going to use it. In fact, he's going to get sucked in by the gadget from Slash. Interesting play with the Frank gadget here, and this could actually result in a goal here. Slash is going to get stunned out of his super by Carlitos. Carlitos falls in response, though. Lukey gets a big super, and it's going to clear everything out of the goal. Slash with the spin, too. Slash Heart E-Girls, they are 1 goal away from heading on to split.
Yeah, really, really nice what they're doing here. I actually really like this combo. I might try it myself. Using that max speed to give the Frank the speed he needs to just run up, and then Irresistible Attraction basically guarantees a kill. It's similar to how Sandy and Max works. You bring them all the way up, and then you use the gadget, and you get the kill. Same concept, just a different brawler. Pain going to be using that heal to stay alive. Super in. It is taking out the Patchy Pirate. Post-show is throwing down that honey pot. Luke's going to be slowed out here. Not going to opt to use that super because, I mean, it just wouldn't bring him that much value, obviously. Slash snuck up all the way to the right side. Nobody was able to see him. So evasive. Now goes for super number 2 and not finds another stun on Carlitos. Slash is just a monster with Frank here. Literally. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. 20 seconds left in the clock, and Ball's all the way on the bottom right hand side, nowhere near the goal of Slash's team. Carlitos misses another stun. Yeah, this one's not happening.
Slash Heart E-Girls look like they will be taking this win. Carlitos won't be able to go anywhere. Poyo will get stunned too. Slash just really closing this one out in spectacular fashion. The spin with the True Gold Frank. The Slash Heart E-Girls will be taking this set in a sweep. Well, perhaps a poor choice of LDU Esports to take this one for the second set, as it was inviting Slash Heart E-Girls in to get a nice sweep. In any case, it's going to take us into split for the final set, and this is when things are going to get real interesting. I wonder if we'll see the Frank again, because Frank is kind of like a meme brawler on this map, but now it doesn't seem like as much of a meme as Split. Frank, they go together, man.
Yeah, Frank actually makes a lot of sense on Split here, but you know what also makes a lot of sense is Griff with that piggy bank gadget, able to drop it all over the map and just break open a lot of walls, making tanks pretty much useless. BB, Frank become almost null against him, and he can just chain 4,000 damage supers one after the other. Yeah, that's probably the best option you can have against tanks. Maybe if you really think they are going to go Frank, you just go Primo, you can go Colette. I mean, there's a lot of options that you can utilize in those matchups that if these teams are savvy, they just might predict it correctly and yeah, get the counter. Easy.
Easy. You know, easier said than done, right? Well, we'll see how our teams handle it. Slash Heart E-Girls, LDU Esports, Split. It's going to make for an interesting combo. I mean, I wonder if we will see a little bit of wall break action in here, right? Given the amount of Frank that we've seen so far, I would not rule out Griff just yet, but if there is enough wall break, then Griff could maybe be more of a hindrance than an actual assistance to the gameplay, especially if there's wall break combined with B from the opposition, because now Griff's just going to be outranged by pretty much everything, and it's going to be tough for him to get much control. In any case, though, we still do see good amounts of capture being taken by the team that is getting pretty countered by the enemy team, right? You're playing tanks into a tank counter. Tanks still going to claim a lot of capture on those points because the tank counters have to frequently back up. Yeah, they have good control, like they're clearing people out of mid, but they're not standing on the objective because they just don't have enough health to do so. So I don't blame the teams for taking their time deciding their comps for this one because the stakes are very high.
Yeah, nobody wants to lose in a round of 8, that's for sure, especially in a single elimination format. Yeah, Frank is probably going to be a really, really strong pick on split here. Let's see what these teams decide to go with. Maybe a Byron combo as well. I'm not sure if Byron's banned, but we'll just have to wait and see. There we go. It is Poco, Gale, and Rico from the side of LDU Esports. Obviously, a pretty solid choice up against tanks. But yeah, they do have Slash up on the Frank, and yeah, they made the right call. In terms of comp, Payne's going to opt to use his Bouncy Castle gadget. Slash now waving his Irresistible Attraction dangerously. Doesn't get it off though. Payne needs to be able to win this lane because his teammates have won that left-hand side. So as long as he wins this right, they should be winning this match. Let's see how Payne decides to use his super. No, and he misses the entire thing. That is really that really sucks for them, honestly, because that could have won the lane instantly. Now Slash is a super, isn't gonna get it off though, and Payne on the right hand side has won his lane finally. Pollo on the left hand side mostly has won that lane. All they have to do really is Sui and the Poco and the Gale over and over just to collect those last few percentages. Now it's gonna be Slash trying to take out Payne. Does it? Managed to do it. Now it's a really, really close game. LDU is looking for the left-hand side, and Slash's team is looking for the right-hand side. Frank, though, does fall on the point now, and they got to finish him off to win this game.
Okay, and there it goes. Slashheart E-Girls, they will be taking game number 1. What a reverse sweep so far. I mean, LDU Esports, they had a pretty good performance in set number 1, a sweep, and this is like game number 1 of set number 2 as well, right? LDU Esports started off with a quick goal, and we're like, oh man, okay, maybe it's already going to be going to a match point, but no, not the case at all. Slashheart E-Girls are going to be bringing this one to match point on their own terms. I will say, right, we predict the Frank came out, and the Frank stole the show. Such an impactful brawler here, and I would definitely say it accounts for some more like tank counterage in the next game. Though this was very close, I think it could have gone either way, and I wouldn't be too shocked either if the comps stay more or less the same.
Yeah, I mean, those comps are completely legit, and yeah, it was a pretty close game. I feel like LDU had a lot of opportunities to win there, but they just somehow struggled to get that left-hand zone, which is honestly not too uncommon on Hot Zone, especially this map. Left-hand zone is usually the hard one to get. But Slash having such a good start on the right-hand side, able to just walk into the blue team zone over and over. Took so long for Payne to actually find that kill. Obviously not the easiest thing in the world to do. But yeah, once he finally found the kill, it was a little bit too late as Slash had already had way too much real estate and taken up too much of the zone. Very hard for LDU Esports to come back at that point.
Yep, well, we'll see how things turn out. LDU Esports, they have a couple of chances to prove their worth and prove their worthiness of heading onto the semifinals. Slashheart E-Girls, they just got to close out this next win. Easier said than done, as we said earlier. But really, Slashheart E-Girls, they got a couple of chances to take the win and then secure the advancement to the semifinals from there. So definitely more comfortable than Slashheart E-Girls than anyone else. I wonder what the strategy is going to be, though. Typically, it seems like the teams will, the team that is on the match point and has a couple of games to work with, will go for something a little bit more counter-y in this game because they know they have a little bit of slack to work with. Just a trend that I've observed through, competitions in the past, and I wonder if Slashheart E-Girls are going to do about the same, or whether LDU Esports are going to predict that, and Slashheart E-Girls are going to have a rough time playing counter.
Yeah, this could turn into a really rough game for one team, possibly. Depends on what they decide to pick. But I really like the Frank pick. Even against like a Rika who usually would be considered a counter to him, maybe here it's not so much of a counter, because you can keep running around those walls like Slash did and you'll just be fine. Take a look though, Pam is now on the right-hand side to take that lane. I actually like that pick.
Well, let's see what the approach is. Slash on the right lane, all alone, goes down to iPain and Poyo. Carlitos on the left lane, all alone, goes down to Lukey and CR7. Lukey will take some big damage from iPain, though here's the good response. Ooh, and iPain whiffs the super into the wall. Not a great look, but hey, it's the art of distraction. Sleight of hand. And Carlitos does, well, I guess, a disappearing and reappearing act onto that point on the left side. LDU Esports have a good lead here so far. They are all set up on the left and or rather on the right. On the left, a bit of a different story. Slash RD Girls are making a rigorous push in with CR7 and Lukey with the super.
Yeah, that's right. Lukey is holding onto that Gale Force, and he does shoot it onto that Rico, finding the kill. Still, though, it is LDU Esports with a roughly 50% point lead. Lukey is going to be collecting as much as he can on that left-hand zone, but once he does, they're still going to be 9% behind. Carlitos has to help Post defend this right-hand side. On the other hand, Payne's going to find that left-hand lane, but without a Surge TP, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually get that done. Now, Lukey is looking for that stun, trying to find a kill onto the Surge or the Rico. Slash goes for the stun, doesn't get it off. Now, Carlitos jumps right in. Super number 1, super number 2. That's a lot of value onto that Frank there. That's right now going to heal himself all the way up. Poyo does get all the way into the Rico, but goes down. Carlitos taking more of the zone second by second, 80%, and the lead increases even further. No kills are found though from the side of LDU Esports, but they are still up 3%. Payne gonna get stunned out. I think they've got this, 10% left, as long as Slash's team doesn't push them out as they are finishing the collection of the zone. Yeah, there's no way. LDU is gonna be taking this match to a double match point for both teams. Well, yeah, that's what double match point means for both teams. Yeah, I'll just stop.
Yeah, double match point, and double match point as well. Yeah, LDU Esports slash RD Girls. It doesn't get more intense than this. Slash RD Girls, but I mean, hey. This is LDU Esports experimenting a little bit, and slash RD Girls choosing not to experiment. And this is exactly why we see the team that's in the lead choose something a little bit funky when they know they have a couple of games to work with. Is exactly this situation. LDU Esports gets a little bit creative and it nets them the tie here. So this is going to be really, really intense. There's no doubt about that, and I wouldn't blame the teams either for taking their time to prepare for this next game.
Yeah, no surprise at all. This all comes down to a final match. The last 25 minutes have been pretty intense, but this is where it gets really intense. I'm shocked actually not to see any of the teams picking Griff, because I think he's just such a good option to open up these walls in the case of like Frank or like, yeah, just tanks in general. Gale should be pretty, no, not Gale. Griff should be pretty solid. Maybe he can be used with Gale. Yeah, it's up to these teams to decide what they want to play. I'm not their coach. I'm just here to watch and talk about it. Yeah, LDU, I think they would be pretty likely to go Griff if either of the teams. Slash probably feeling confident on the Frank, as he should, playing it so well so far. And yeah, I really like seeing Frank in these competitive games, because I'm a little bit of a Frank main myself.
Number 1 Frank main NA or what, dude? Yeah, I mean, Frank is one of my favorite brawlers too, and he's like always been. There's just something about a brawler that is so good. It's like he's like the ideal brawler, except that he has to stop when he attacks, right? Which makes him like one of the worst, or well, used to make him one of the worst brawlers. Now he's actually pretty good. We see a lot of use of his gadget, the Irresistible Attraction. Slash, though, is not going to attract anyone with that gadget. Guess he'll have to shoot his shot next time. Carlitos, though, will throw down that super at mid, and this is just free control for LDU if they can use it right. They're staying away from Slash, which is a good choice, but also not the choice that they wanted to take. But there is the wall break as well. Now, iPain is still going to be able to make use of this. Does dodge out the super from Slash. That is huge. He stays alive, though, thanks to Lukey. And Slash RD Girls stay narrowly in the lead via percentage.
Yeah, Carlitos finds another Sandy super for his team. It's going to be hard for the Rico to fight into this. Yeah, no way. Slash now trying to move onto the left zone as his team needs to take there. Now, Juan Carlos with this Sandstorm all over the left and the right hand side. It's going to be really difficult for Slash's team to get something done here. Slash moves up into the left hand side, but they don't need to be taking that left side. They need to actually be winning the right hand side back because they're 5% back on a deficit. Wow, Pollo picks up the kill. Now Slash's team moves back onto the right hand side. Slash, I feel like he's been holding that gadget for like 3 years. Let's see what he decides to do with it. As Pollo moves up, takes out CR7, Slash finds the kill. 82% to 74. LDU is in the lead, but not by much. They have to finish this off to 100, or it's not going to look too good soon. Patchy Pirate on the left-hand side. Pollo trying to find a win here against Rookie. Oh, he doesn't. No, Pain and Patchy Pirate on the left-hand side trying to win this interaction. 13% separates both of these teams from the victory. I think it's looking a little bit better for Slash's team now.
Oh, it's so close. LDU Esports could be taking this one. Slash Hard E-Girls, they just gotta walk onto that left point. Posho and IPN are gonna be keeping them back as much as possible. Lukey doesn't have the heal though. Slash is gonna be able to walk on, and that is the win, 97 to 100 in the double match point. And Slash Hard E-Girls will be heading on to the semifinals. Such a close game, such a close match overall. What an amazing spectacle. Wow. And you know, I'm fortunate to be here. I'm happy I got to witness this one night.
Wow, hey, that is a match of the night for sure. Really close. And yeah, Slash's team definitely deserving of the semifinals. However, I would have really loved to see LDU in there as well. They played great throughout this entire tournament. Picked up probably a few $100 though from those open qualifiers, so I'm sure they won't be crying too long over this one. I hope.
I hope not either. Let's get a look at the bracket real quick to see how things have progressed while we were watching Slash Hard E-Girls and LDU Esports. Here we have it. Everyone is primed and ready for the semifinals. Slash Hard E-Girls will be facing AN Esports. It's interesting. I read that as AN Esports, which makes me think, what's an esports? But in any case, on the right side, semifinals are going to be composed of Revenge Tour versus O.O. That is one you won't want to miss, and those are our semifinals. So we are going to take a quick break. We got to give y'all a break because we know it's just been so exciting. Get up, stretch, get some water. They give our players a break too, and we'll see you back in just a few minutes for the semifinals. Welcome back, everyone, to Brawl Masters. We're going to be getting into the semi-finals, and I hope you're super, super excited. This is going to be Revenge Tour versus O.O. And O.O, we just watched them get a pretty nice win. And Revenge Tour, we actually have not seen them yet in the Last Chance qualifiers. We've seen them repeatedly in the Open qualifiers, and Knight, I can't wait to see them again.
Yeah, Revenge Tour and O.O, this is a really great match. It might even be better than that previous one. Yeah, both great teams. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. These players speak for themselves. Yeah, they are matched up in the semifinals, and they anticipate playing against, I think, Slash's team versus, I'm very sorry to the other team, but I don't know who you are. Yeah, let's take a look at the maps and the bans here. It is Mortis being banned for probably like a millionth time today, I think, along with Ash, Buzz, his amigos, who also are not allowed to be played as usual. Ems, though, for a ban is pretty interesting, but yeah, it's a smart ban considering Ems is good on sneaky fields, it's good on pit stop against tanks, and yeah, this is the first time we're actually guaranteed to see pit stop today. This is one of Revenge Tour's favorite maps, I'm pretty sure. I've seen them win on it basically every single time. They're just really good with the Funny Bull, the BB, and the Edgar on there. So O.O better watch out because everyone knows it's coming. First map, though, going to be Hard Rock Mine, though. Not too surprising. O.O got their pick there, and yeah, they've been winning on Hard Rock Mine, so it would not make sense not to pick it.
Yeah. Well, oh wow, we're going to be getting into the first game already. It seems like Revenge Tour and O.O are primed and ready, and they're ready to see who is heading on to the grand finals and who, well, is going away with nothing. Let's see, though. O.O, they got Toast on the Gene, Luffy on the Rico, and Fade on the Colonel Ruffs. O.O looks like a couple of players playing their one tricks. Now, Revenge Tour, though, different story. Alec on the Max, and CR7 is good on the Rosa, but not necessarily one tricks here. Maybe a brawler advantage for O.O as far as mechanics.
Yeah, I think that's... If I were to guess, I think Jigsaw's on the Rosa. And Cute Sands or Charles? I don't know. I'm not even going to try to guess. Anyway, it is Alec who is still with his original name. Toast, though, is already buffed up. So is Fade. Gems are open for grabs on the left-hand side. Unlikely that O.O is going to grab them, though. Patchy Pirate number 2 is on the left-hand side, just chilling in the bush. Is going to get stunned out by Toast, though. Luffy going to pick up the buff, and it is 3 buffs in this favor of O.O. Taking out the gem carry again, and it is Patchy Pirate stuck at the back here. Yeah, they're going to be able to find the kill, though, and a unnecessary buff is now sitting there for one of these players if they do respawn later. Luffy going to be buffing himself up with the field promotion. Sandy Super covers a good bit of ground here as Alec needs to work his way into finding a kill. Wow, Patchy Pirate on the Sandy is just doing a ton of work. No kills, though, but they do almost equalize the gems and need to retreat and heal up again. Sandy Super coming down.
All right, let's see what Revenge Tour is able to do with this one. They can't let a single gem go the way of O.O. And, well, it doesn't seem like they're planning on it. Luffy will try and snag this thing, though, and he will be able to get one slightly more towards their side. Alec 26 will be able to pick up one here, but really the most important thing here is going to be to get a kill. Down goes CR7, and Alec 26 explodes into a pile of gems. CR7 tries to do something, but O.O will be walking away with the win for game number 1.
Yeah, well played by them, and yeah, I mean, they were able to distribute the buffs well and just stay alive. So when you have buffs and you stay alive, you just have an inherent advantage against the other team, and yeah, that's how they were able to win. And they played passively, didn't get too robbed by the Sandy and the Rosa Max combo, which is very common with a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, robberies do happen in gem grab sometimes. Good start by O.O, but Revenge Tour put up a great match themselves. Yeah, this one can still go either way. Let's see how they pick these comps in the next game, because Ruffs against Sandy, it's not too ideal in terms of that lane matchup.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this next one turns out as well. I think these are two really well-matched teams, and it's just going to come down to some comp selections. I don't think hard counters are really going to be in play here. It's going to be more of mechanics and team synergies, and I think for Revenge Tour, something that was really going well for them was the Sandy Super. It just came a little bit late, right, because Sandy was getting outranged repeatedly and wasn't able to farm up those supers to begin with. So I wonder what exactly could be done about that. Maybe they'll switch off of the Sandy entirely. Of course, we'll have to go to game number 2 to find out. Let's get it and see what the strategy is. It is going to be the Byron 8-bit from Revenge Tour, and they're sticking with CR7 on the Rico, actually switching him off of the Rosa from last game. O.O switching up the comp as well, though. Fade will still be on the Colonel Russ, but Luffy and Toast are switching up onto Bell and Rico.
Yeah, Fade is all up in their business here. First buff gonna go the way of the mid Bell, who's loses already, unfortunately. But yeah, Fade is gonna be taking those gems on the right hand side, so no gem deficit for O.O after that death. Alec though doing such a good job with 8-bit, having that turret early on with the support of Apache Pirate Byron on the left hand side, healing him up, offering him the appropriate amount of support in the win of matches. But a tag on him is going to be pretty deadly here. Luffy now on this back end of the blue team's zone, finding a kill and getting the turret out of the way. That's going to be really important for them. Apache Pirate though, throwing the Chug Jug down, just keeping Luffy low, and now they're going to be pinching him. See if Luffy can stay alive with another gadget. He does. Wow. Just buying so much time for Bell to hopefully bring back this control if O.O wants to win this game, but no, it doesn't look good. Apache Pirate's going to keep the back, and 13 seconds left.
All right, let's see it. O.O are going to be pushing up here, but there's just not enough time to get to the other side of the map. Alec26 will be taking a little bit of damage, but it's not going to matter. That is going to be Revenge Tour taking game number 2, and I will really hand it to them on this one. Despite playing into the Bell, Alec26, he was able to make it work with the 8-bit, and of course the Byron accessory to the 8-bit was working wonders as well. Byron 8-bit is one that we haven't seen in a while, and it did get a little bit frustrating to see over and over and over again, but now that it's something that can realistically be countered by Bell, who's very common, it is refreshing, right? Because it introduces a new dynamic. Are you gonna pick Bell? Are you gonna pick 8-bit? And in this case, it didn't really matter because Revenge Tour took the win nonetheless.
Yeah, I thought the Bell tag would slow down that 8-bit a little bit more than it actually did, but Alec just played it correctly. He stayed mostly picking up those bottom gems. They let Toast have like a few, like 2 or 3 gems, but as they were already ahead, they just needed to pick up until they got to 10. Once they got to 10, I mean, yeah, they just need to stay alive. Yeah, knowing how to play under a tag is really important because sometimes people just die like immediately when they have the tag. Either you want to like go out with a kill and then die right after, or you just play really passive, and Alec took the second option. Really nice job from Revenge Tour there. And 8-bit, it's paying off a lot today. 8-bit and Ruffs doing a really good job in the meta recently, and you like to see it. I mean, new brawlers, always great.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how game number 3 goes. This is pretty much going how we were hoping, though. It's a very well matched match. So O.O and Revenge Tour, it's going to be a tough call, honestly. We did see the Rosa play earlier on, and the Rosa was, not working super well. Rosa can work well, even playing into the Rico, but Rico does counter her on the lane, so she's forced to run up mid instead, and that didn't work very well, going straight into the Bell. So maybe if Bell weren't banned, then Rosa could be played, but it's not going to work for this instance. So I do predict a little bit more of Byron 8-bit, and honestly, I would love to see it from both sides, and I kind of think that is what's going to happen. Let's see. Byron... no Byron, but definitely an 8-bit here. And CR7 will be sticking on that Rico. Or rather, wait, no, they're 2 Apache Pirates. Never mind, I take it back.
Yeah, there is the Mr. P, though. A good pick, though, especially against the 8-bit, and he's pretty good against Rico as well. Obviously, you can use the Mr. P to take out the 8-bit turret. And yeah, 8-bit turret is up for Toast. Let's see how this Mr. P deals with it, though. I think he's got revolving door. I'm not sure. Wait, let me just watch this for a few more seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has revolving doors, so it's going to be hard for him to actually like take out the turret unless he wins this lane first against Luffy. BrawlMSTRS is trying to find, no, not BrawlMSTRS. Yeah, he's trying to find the little spawner. He does find a little spawner. It's going to be spawning little bat kids as the turret goes down. Alec has a definitive gem advantage here, and yeah, Patchy Pirate number 2 is going to be taking out that turret on the right-hand side, winning this lane against the Ruffs, and Toast does have a buff, no turret though, so Alex still has the advantage here because he can just grab and TP right out.
Okay, Alec26 just needs one more gem here, and it'll be a pretty safe win for Revenge Tour, but that kill on the Patchy Pirate on the left side, different from the Patchy Pirate on the right side, of course, will mean more control for O.O, and the denial of that last gem. Toast will be able to grab 5 here. Fade has to grab another one. Really, O.O, they don't get to pick and choose who they put their gems on, and it's really about keeping it away from Alec26 than anything, and Alec is able to sneak in, taking a bunch of damage, but it doesn't matter. He's able to teleport out with a cheat cartridge, and Patchy Pirate will be helping out Patchy Pirate. Even the win. Which Patchy Pirate is your favorite? Is it Patchy Pirate or Patchy Pirate? First, leave your comments. In any case, though, both Patchy Pirates are elated, as that is going to be a set 1 victory for Revenge Tour.
Yeah, you love to see them celebrating that win. As they earned it. It was well played, but this match is not over yet. They've still got to win in pit stop somehow, which, if I were them, I wouldn't be too worried about. They know how to play this map, and they know the strat. O.O, though, they're not going to let up so easily, and hey, you might go with the tank counters. I think Brock is a pretty solid option in terms of breaking stuff open. You can use Griff as well. I don't know if you, actually maybe not Griff. Rico, Spike, all good options for dealing with those tanks. So yeah, there's a few options on this map, but certainly I don't think you would want to run like throwers because that would be a little bit too easily countered. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to some good gameplay. You know, I like the counter right could be very, very oppressive here. So it's always a tough call, right? Edgar Abibi is going to be a popular one here. Barley's also in play for the lane victory. Rico is always possible as well. In what I've experienced in the past, though, is it doesn't really seem to matter, right? Because it is about how you play it, whether you're playing the tanks or whether you're playing something a little bit more control-based with Rico and Barley. Though one that I do think could actually do pretty well here is 8-Bit, and I am a big advocate for 8-Bit on Hot Potato. It's one of my favorites to play on Hot Potato, even though, you know, it's not like maybe the best pick. Let's see if it, or rather not Hot Potato, Pit Stop. I always confuse these two maps now, but Revenge Tour will be bringing out the Rico nonetheless. O.O will be bringing out the Rico just the same. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, now look at Toast as he is running the Spike. He loves to play it here. And Luffy, just a really, really good Rico, so not surprised to see him playing that either. And yeah, it's looking good for O.O to start off here. They've got a lot of kills on the board and a lot of supers, actually. Oh, his first super from Ruffs is going to go down there on the safe to break open that mid wall. And it's going to give Fade his boost there. Luffy going to be shooting on that safe as he keeps the speed active. Does fall to Patchy Pirate Rico, barely, but Toast is going to be picking up a buff as well. 2 buffs on the side of O.O and a 20% damage lead. That's exactly what they want to see going into the first minute of the game. However, Alec dashing in onto the safe is going to almost equalize things. Now they've got to defend against Patchy Pirate Daryl as well. And can they do it? Yes, they can, but now they're just a little bit behind on percentage, but all pushing in with buffs and supers. Luffy, now with the super and a buff, is going to do a ton of damage here, along with Toast. Now it is O.O taking their lead back, but Revenge Tour has 2 supers to dash in.
A Revenge Tour, they have Patchy Pirate on the right side defending versus Luffy, but it is a mismatch as Luffy does have that damage booster, keeping him alive. Meanwhile, on the left side, Patchy Pirate Part 2 will be looking for a good roll in. There's the stun, and Fade actually does manage to suck up a bunch of damage with the sandbags, but it's not enough. Alec26 connects with the save. Revenge Tour, though, are taking huge amounts of damage from Luffy on their side of the map. O.O, despite suffering a bunch of damage on their save, will still maintain this lead. They are getting good control at mid, and they're attacking at any point where Revenge Tour is attacking, taking advantage of that lack of a backline. And it does show a deep knowledge of this game mode. Alec26 will fall. Patchy Pirate and Patchy Pirate will see which one of them tries to make it to the other side. In any case, it does look like O.O will be securing the last bit of damage. Oh, never mind. There's the roll in. Will it be enough? Doesn't look like it, but definitely a worthy effort. It is going to be the victory here for O.O to start things off in set number 2.
Yeah, they do secure this first heist win here with a really well played from Fade, being able to deliver those buffs. And Toast, I mean, I think he stayed alive for most of the match there. He stayed alive for a solid minute with a buff, which means he just got so much value out of it. And by the time he died, he was able to respawn, and Fade already had another buff ready because, I mean, yeah, he gave him so much time to find another one. So really good job from O.O there to deal with those tanks, being able to single them out as they focus on a Bull first and a Daryl, and then just opening up that like mid wall at the beginning as well is really, really important. They were able to get so much damage just from that simple play. And yeah, that's what they want to keep doing here, especially against tanks, being able to break open the map and allowing your snipers, well, not snipers, but long range like Spike and Rico to be able to take out those tanks is just so much more important.
Yeah, it's interesting because I never really considered this being a map where wall break is super popular. Like, I can definitely see that big sort of like extended C-shaped wall that protects the safe being broken open. But besides that, I wouldn't consider the obstacles being like that important to break open. Like, Luffy is definitely using the obstacles to his advantage over here on the right lane. Otherwise, though, Alec26 would be able to use those obstacles to his advantage to stay out of the range of some of those oppressive tank counters. Patchy Pirate up here on the top right will be getting massive healing with the bouncy castle. Great use of the obstacles to get a lot of ricochets out there, and he is going to be able to stay alive and, in fact, escape sort of a death trap that he was facing versus Toast over there. Revenge Tour, though, they still have taken a substantial amount of damage on their safe. They're looking to bring it back. The lead in their favor. Big push onto O.O safe could secure it.
Yeah, big push onto the safe, but now O.O is behind around 11%. No, not anymore. Actually, I'm not sure what's happening, but I think at the bottom of the screen, Luffy is shooting a super. Was not able to see. Yeah, Fade now pushing up into the mid. If he can find a way to take out this Rico, he can get a lot of value on that safe. Probably looking for a super, though. Patchy Pirate goes right on top of Fade, takes him out, but does almost fall himself, actually. Now it's going to be Alec going in with the Berserker, finding almost 25% of damage on the save by himself. Patchy Pirate, now it's his turn, but a life plant is going to stop him from dealing too much damage. Fade now with the probably super in on the save, doesn't fall to the Patchy Pirate super. Luffy now trying to fend off against tank the Bull on the right hand side. Now Daryl coming up, another super coming in, but Daryl rolls right through it. Now Patchy Pirate is on the save. They've got to defend this and then make their push in this last 40 seconds. Or, yeah, Alec might finish this one off. We'll just have to see.
Okay, Toast keeps up the defense. Only 12% remain, and Fade keeps on chipping away at that safe. He does have the advantage over Patchy Pirate here in the 1v1, but Patchy Pirate is going to be able to get some substantial damage on him. Nonetheless, Alec26 pushes in. Luffy and Toast trying to defend, but there's the super from Patchy Pirate, and it's all over. Revenge Tour will be taking this game. Now they are at the match point, 1 game away from taking the win, but in a similar train of thought, O.O are only 1 game away from saving themselves from this game and essentially wiping it off the record and sending themselves on to set number 3.
Yeah, this could be the end of O.O here if they don't get it together in this match point for Revenge Tour. As I said, Barley is just not too strong because, I mean, he just struggles against tanks. He might be good against Rico, and maybe they had a different idea in terms of like a counter comp. If there was Barley against like a Rico and a Ruffs, sure, that's a great pick. But in the possibility where there's tanks like a Bull or a Daryl, it's not so strong. and we saw O.O struggling there, despite Fade just still being a great Barley. I mean, got a lot of damage, got a lot of chip, but if you're a Barley hitting the safe by yourself, and you're not there to be able to defend like a Bull and a Daryl on the other hand, I mean, you're trust me, you can't out damage those guys. So yeah, they've got to reconsider this try. Maybe go back.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? The Barley was great on offense, but once that wall's broken open, his use is pretty much gone, right? I mean, like you're able to get the lane matchup versus Rico, but that's not what we saw happening. In fact, we saw Revenge Tour, their Rico is able to deal with Barley pretty handily and play through that counter, right? As hard or, you know, as soft counter as you might call it. But with the wall broken open, right, and the wall willingly pretty much being broken open by Revenge Tour, it just doesn't seem like the thrower is going to be that necessary here, and it is going to give O.O some freedom to switch onto something besides Barley, but, you know, maybe they don't want to play something besides that, and it is more of a limitation than a liberty.
That's right. Maybe they should consider... yeah, I think the Russell's really doing them a good job, to be honest. That was really solid. Also, Brock should be good for opening up walls. I don't think Brock's too good in the meta right now, but I mean, just generally, if you're just shooting the safe or stationary, things should be fine. It is the same comp from Revenge Tour here. I don't think that's overly surprising, but now O.O picks their own set of 3 tanks. Fate is a really, really good BB, so I'm excited to see what he does here. Luffy and Toast making their way onto the safe with Fade. Wow, so much damage. Was that a perfect gadget from Luffy? If not, it was pretty darn close. Now, it is 50% on both safes already in just a short amount of time. Now, though, it's going to be Passion Pirate supering that safe. Fade and Luffy playing defense on the left. It is Toast playing defense on the right. We've got to take out Passion Pirate quick here. 420 health remains on him, but 1500 remains on Alec. Can they get these kills? Oh, it's going to be really, really tough. They've got 20% of the safe left, and a long road ahead of them if they want to still win this game.
All right, and big stuff there. Revenge Tour will be taking the win. They're headed on to the grand finals too, and O.O unfortunately will not be going any further. Big stuff there for Revenge Tour. They will have their chance to head for that last chance qualifier winner spot and the last spot remaining in the playoffs.
Yeah, they've definitely earned their spot here. Just playing really good throughout this entire day. And yeah, we just saw them completely dominating here. Well, not completely dominating, but they were able to win against O.O. At the end of the day, that's a really huge accomplishment. And yeah, if they can just finish this off today with this momentum that they have, I have no doubt that they might be in this next playoffs here. Probably going to be going up against Slash's team. Actually, I'm not sure who Slash's team is playing, but I guess we're going to be going over to that. Right now, yeah, it's Slash's team versus BrawlMSTRS, who I don't know who's on that team, but I'm going to find out in just a second. Yeah, this is the next team that's going to be in the grand finals. The winner here from Slash and BrawlMSTRS.
It's going to be an interesting one. I definitely have my my biases, right, towards Slash Hard E-Girls, but it's really because we've seen them already twice in the competition today. BrawlMSTRS, we haven't seen them yet, but we get the opportunity to see what they are made of. Slash Hard E-Girls are going to be banning out Bounty and Siege to start things off. BrawlMSTRS with the heist ban in the Hard Rock Mine selection. And man, we have said this before, right? Slash Hard E-Girls on Hard Rock Mine is a good combination, though we kind of did have to eat our words in the last match where we watched Slash Hard E-Girls, as they did have to bring back the reverse sweep after a loss on Hard Rock Mine. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah, in BrawlMSTRS, they are Angel U, Mateo, Sir Johnny, and Seabass and Barjas. So pretty solid team from Latin America here. Definitely could make some waves against Slash and his friends CR7 and Loogie Bear. First map is going to be Hard Rock Mine, and again, we see Mortis and Ash being almost like definitive bans for these matches today. BrawlMSTRS is going to go ahead and take the Frank out of play so that Slash won't be on him on Sneaky Fields and Split. Hard Rock Mine, though, without Mortis, Ash, or Byron, it's going to be pretty different. Let's see if they opt for more Gene-based comps or Bell.
Yeah, I would like to see some Bell here, right? And then, of course, with the point of Bell, logically follows 8-Bit. Like, are we going to see him either? No Byron 8-Bit, so maybe a little bit less likely, but, like, even in our last match, we saw 8-Bit without Byron. Just doesn't seem like he's very necessary. I mean, you're doubling down on mid and ignoring at least one lane there. So, it doesn't always work out so well. So, Bell, right, in the question. 8-Bit also in the question. Rico is pretty much a no-brainer, so that's already a comp that we have within the realm of possibilities. But one that we saw do pretty well in our last match, actually, Knight, was Ruffson. You seem to be particularly partial to him.
Yeah, I think Russ is really strong. Looking at some of these matchups he's able to fight against, like Rico, he can put up those bags and still do okay against against that matchup. Even though his range is a little worse, he can still shoot around those walls. He's not completely oppressed like Sandy, some of those other brawlers. And yeah, just to be able to buff your mid, it's just so good. I mean, if you're a good team and you know how to stay alive with Ruff's buffs, it's just going to be a good option for you 90% of the time. We've seen it in so many games today, and it definitely makes sense. Hard Rock Mine, though, yeah, probably Gene and Russ is such a good combo. Sandy as well, or Rico on the lanes. Generally, it just makes sense. Russ is also pretty good against Spike because those bags do block the shots of Spike pretty well as an added bonus.
Yeah. Also, I mean, of course, we've been talking about set number 1, but set number 2 and 3, this is a repeat of what we saw Slash Heart E-Girls fight through last time, and they had a very narrow win on Split, so already like a little bit of deja vu for better or for worse in set number 3. Set number 2, though, obligated to play that one. It was their choice, Sneaky Fields. I'm looking forward to some great plays on that one. In any case, let's get into it. The Mortis ban means that we are going to be seeing some Sprout action in one place or another. Apache Pirate now pushing up around the right side. There's really no one for him to fight there. I wonder if he knows. Yeah, there's a Mr. P briefcase, and now he is going to know. Yeah, there's no one for him to fight down that lane. Maybe he is going to keep on trying to fight down the lane on the right side. Who knows? Who knows tonight?
Yeah, it looks like Angel is on the left-hand side. He doesn't have Breakthrough, though, so it's going to mean that it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to win this lane against Luki. Mostly trying to use those supers to dodge out shots. But Mateo has already found his first Mr. P super, so that's going to be pretty annoying for the Apache Pirate on the right-hand side to keep taking out. Slash is getting low, and Mr. P has left this right-hand side before taking out that 8-bit turret, but does finally go back to finish it off. So many turrets on this back end here. If Apache Pirate can find a super, he would be able to take all of them out, but unfortunately he won't be. 8 gems to 3, and they're playing Sim City back here. What is going on?
Yeah, pretty much chaos over here. At least there's one constant within this game, and that's the 1v1 between Apache Pirate and Mr. P on the right side. Still has not really yielded anything for the entire game, though. Direct your attention back over to the left side. Angel, you tries to push around versus Luki. There's a countdown for AN Esports. Sir Johnny gets to back up. Slash will be landing some huge shots, but he's not able to get the kill. He almost does. Luki, though, is able to take advantage of this power-up. Let's see if he's able to get a kill off of it. AN Esports are all the way backed up in the back left corner, but it's not going to net a victory for Slash Heart E-Girls. That is going to be game number 1 going to AN Esports.
Yeah, it looks like the Sim City paid off there. And yeah, they were able to just set up shop, and 8-bit just went in, poked around, grabbed gems, and always knew he had that safety. Just had to click green button to run out of there at any time. Angel obviously did pretty good against Luki on that lane. It's honestly hard to play against a Stu as a Sprout. I mean, you can't hit any of your shots basically if the Stu is worth their salt. And yeah, Angel used certainly a good Stu player, and yeah, was able to get in the bush, and Luki was not able to actually focus on the 8-bit or the Mr. P, which are matchups that he is good against, not even able to push up into the fortress of AN Esports and take out any of those turrets or spawners, which would have been a really good use case for the Sprout here, and probably why Sprout was even brought in the first place.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to how this next game is gonna go. Right, I was really a fan of the 8-bit 1v1. I think it, was pretty solid. But what I was noticing mostly at night is that Stu matchup versus the Sprout, and I think that there was like a bit of prediction from A&E Esports that there was going to be some Sprout play. As I mean, we said like Sprout, little bit off meta, but Sprout has a good explosion radius on that projectile, has really good range as well, can counter out brawlers like Rico and things. There was no Rico to speak of from A&E Esports, and I think there were a couple of assumptions made, right, by Slashheart E-Girls here. Number one, that Rico was going to be played because it's Hard Rock Mine, which was wrong. I made that assumption too, to be fair. And number two, that a Mortis ban was going to save them from being countered on that Sprout pick, which was also wrong and was also something that I assumed. So with that out of the way, though, Slashheart E-Girls, they have learned the hard way this lesson, and I think with the proper adjustments that they can actually take this one back in a pretty good fashion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not a dire situation for Slash's team. I mean, it's just the first game. And okay, they're going with the Sandy, Max, and Rosa. Obviously, this is a pretty solid comp overall. And I'm curious to see how it'll do against 8-bit and the Stu and Mr. P. Definitely good against Mr. P. But against 8-bit and Stu, I'm not so sure about. Angel U finding a lot of ground early on. Luki being pushed back, waiting for the let's go from Slash. They're all going to be running into the mid here and regaining the ground. But Slash is pretty low in that mid area, has to stay behind this wall to heal up, while Sir Johnny takes those gems as freebies, basically. And keep in mind, there is really no way for Slash's team to take out all these spawners unless they get really into the zone like Patchy Pirate is going to do there, but he's going to get ultimately taken out. It's not really ideal. Angel U is going to pick up those kills there. And yeah, Angel is doing a really good job on that Stu. Just staying completely, almost feels like he's invincible. He's just like constantly healing up and they can't really reach him. Patchy Pirate though is going to be holding on to that stun. Does the Mr. P know he has it? Well, yeah, obviously he knows he has it now. It's 8 gems to 1. And but the position for A&E Esports is slowly getting worse.
It is getting worse. A&E Esports, okay, big teleport by Sir Johnny, does get slept, and he will take a bunch of damage, but he's still alive and kicking. He does want that pinch on a Slash. Angel U does go down, and Sir Johnny is able to reap the rewards. 11 gems hanging over his head. Luki wants to do something, but he's got to heal up first. Now Patchy Pirate will be pushing in as well. What if he has a gadget left to work with? Angel U does get the kill, though. Slash pushes for it. Is there even enough time? Does not look like it. Great defense by Angel U. A&E Esports will be taking this win in set number 1.
Yeah, really well played to them there. 8-bit able to keep up the turret for almost the entire game. And yeah, Sir Johnny's doing a really good job on the 8-bit. Angel U is doing a really good job on the Stu. And Mr. P not feeding the Sandy too much, always staying out of range. And we saw that one time where Patchy Pirate or CR7 had the Sandy gadget. He just ran around the corner with the Mr. P. The Mr. P stayed so careful not to get stunned, and when he finally had the opportunity, pushed in with one of those little spawners, raged him up with the gadget, and won that side back. So yeah, they just were really focused on each of these individual brawlers. Never let anyone get too deep into their bush, which would have caused a lot of problems. And they're going to be taking that first set, moving into Brawl Ball.
Okay, well, we'll see how this one goes. A&E Esports, they won their pick of set, so it's Slashheart E-Girls' turn to make this one happen in Brawl Ball. Now, in the past, we have seen them run the tanks. I mean, we've seen them play Brawl Ball once before today. So tanks are on the table. A little bit of wall break action here would not be out of the question either. Though we also got to consider things from A&E Esports perspective, right? Because they are not afraid of like not running the Norman and still dominating with their strategy. I think a lot of people were taken aback actually by the lack of a Rico pick from A&E Esports and their resultant success, right? Because Rico's pretty much like a no-brainer on this map, and they were able to make it work nonetheless. So what on earth could they be planning for Sneaky Fields? Because they did leave this one open. Admittedly, they left Split open too, but they are planning on playing this one. So what could they possibly be thinking of picking here for Sneaky Fields?
Yeah, Sneaky Fields here is a interesting map, as we've seen before. There's so many different counter comps you can pick. But yeah, I think Slash's team does want to opt for tanks. AN Esports will probably be like using Rico or Spike or something like that. Let's see. Oh no, and I'm wrong. It's actually AN Esports with the tanks, and we got Slash's team with the funny tank counters. It's going to be Lukey on the Spike on the right-hand side, CR7 on the Rico, and Slash holding mid with the B. It's going to be AN who's struggling here to push up even into the bush. Probably Angel should wait for a great slow onto 3 of the enemies before Mateo used a pneumatic booster to get up into the enemy's business. Great Rico super from CR7 there, taking on 2 of the enemy brawlers. Nice heal. Slash passes the ball in here. Can they defend though? Yeah, it looks like Mateo's going to rush in with the pneumatic booster there, just in case for the defense. Not needed at the end of the day, but a good precaution. Sir Johnny needs to get this ball into the corner. He does. Now it's going to be an easy goal for Slash's team. Yep. I mean, it's as expected. This comp certainly will counter what AN Esports has.
Okay, and Esports, though, they do push through. They have a bunch of supers to work with. Big push, but it's just not enough to deal with what Slash Heart Eagles have to offer. Even in the most powerful position for this Poku double tank comp, they just weren't able to push through the total domination and firepower that is available to these 3 tank counters. There's a slow once again. No real progress by Angel U on the right side. Patchy Pirate will get taken down by Mateo, though, so that's something. Ooh, and a big opening on the left side. Mateo will not be able to make it through, so Johnny gets slowed down. Amazing save. I would say primarily by Slash. Good damage there by Lukey, but it came down to Slash getting that slow that really did deny AN Esports that goal there.
Yeah, Sir Johnny going to be casting his heal onto Angel from across the map. Mateo finds a kill, but the issue for AN Esports here is that the ball is cornered. So even if they did get a good push, they might even not be able to get the goal because the ball is very difficult to access right now. They are slowly pushing them back down on these lanes. Lukey's going to throw a stick around to hold Angel U at bay. Angel U is so low, but Mateo and Johnny are going in for one final push here. They are not going to get it though. 8 seconds left. They're going to throw up the pins as they have saved themselves from a potential match point here in Sneaky Fields.
All right. And there you have it. Slash Heart Eagles taking their first win here. Patchy Pirate, the star player there, and I could not agree more with the game there. He was getting a lot of good control. Though, I mean, I don't want to steal the thunder of Slash there, who I think was a pretty essential brawler as well. B, Knight, you brought it up even before we saw our first game of Sneaky Fields for the day. B is a strong pick here, even though the bushes, you know, do kind of make it difficult for you to see your enemies. You still do have that super at your disposal, and if your teammates are able to eliminate the locations of the enemies, particularly if they're Rico and Spike, then you're gonna have a much easier time at hitting those shots because you're gonna know where the brawlers are. So AN Esports, they got denied really hard with the Poke Double Tank comp, so now it's time to try something different.
Yeah, that's right. They've got to switch up the comp maybe, and I think it's Slash's team's turn to now switch over to these tanks, and AN Esports might be caught lacking if they don't bring the right counters to those tanks. Yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility here. Maybe we see a reverse of the comps. I'm not 100% sure, but that's certainly a possibility. What do you think?
I mean, maybe we'll just leave it to the game to figure it out for us, shall we? Let's get into it. Game number 2. Slash Heart Eagles are going to be picking up the Sprout once again. And Lukey will be looking to switch onto the right lane, or perhaps not. No, on the left lane. It's really between countering Rico and Spike here, and it looks like he's having a hard time deciding which one. Does go for Angel U there. He and Slash are able to take that down. Mateo with a good super. Patchy Pirate, though, stays alive. Lukey also has this super to work with. Down goes the super. Doesn't really deny anyone the lane. Actually does deny Sir Johnny an escape route and really narrows things down for Patchy Pirate on Rico on the left side. AN Esports continue to keep up the defense. Slash Heart Eagles are having trouble making progress. Very well matched here between these two comps.
Yeah, Angel U is going to be tossing out his bouncy castle, stays alive, finds the kill on the Patchy Pirate. Now it is AN Esports' turn to push for the first time in this match. They've got a wall down on the right-hand side, so now it's the Sprout from AN Esports, who just needs to abuse all these brawlers who are seemingly in a stuck position here. Patchy Pirate can throw a super, though, to easily take out Johnny. He does. Angel now on the right-hand side after taking out the Spike. He needs to stay clear of Lukey Bear. Basically, AN Esports right here, they need to wait for the Sprout of their own to push back up and help them win back the mid.
Still trying to keep the control on the right side, but he is outranged and outgunned by Sir Johnny, and he's going to be outgunned by Angel U2. This is not an optimal matchup, but it's a matchup that he has to take, lest he wants to switch lanes over to the left side. Apache Pirate on the left lane will be trying something with that lane blocked off, though it's going to be challenging. Does go for the mid matchup. And here comes Sir Johnny once again. Sir Johnny just really looking for any matchup that's favorable for him, and it is going to pay off. Angel U actually is wide open for a pass here. Sir Johnny's not able to get it, though. He is going to go for some more control-based strategy before going for the goal. Looks like AN Esports want to have control when the walls go down, and that is when they're going to go for the goal, but it's not going to happen, it doesn't seem. Slash Hard Eagles are going to have control when those walls break down. AN Esports, they got to have some sort of defense ready.
Yeah, and looking at this position, it's been a bit of a stalemate for the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 10 seconds left in regulation. But as we move into overtime, it's actually AN Esports who's going to have the advantage if they can get themselves out of this situation because of the star power difference between Sir Johnny and Lukey Bear. Obviously, Overgrowth is going to find a lot more value than Photosynthesis, especially when there's no grass in sight. But yeah, a kill onto any of these brawlers from Mateo here could save this game. No, Slash's team does take the second set. We're going to be moving to, I think it was Bounty. Yeah, Dry Season is our last map here to decide the next grand finalist.
Okay, well, once again, it comes down to set number 3, as you said, Knight, and we've been going to a lot more set number 3s today than we usually would. Usually we only go to like a set number 3 once or twice per Brawl Masters, and usually it's going to be that single one in the grand finals. But no, hey, it's well-matched teams all across the board today, and I would attribute that particularly to our most powerful teams already being qualified and not being able to play in the last chance qualifiers. So this has made for an exciting competition today, and it's going to make for an exciting split, right? Slash RD Girls, they had a very narrow win in the last time that they played split in this exact same map rotation. So, you know, as we said earlier, a bit of deja vu could be in play here. And Esports, I mean, they left this one open, perhaps on purpose. It's going to be tough, men, but I'm excited for it, and I'm here.
Yeah, I'm still anticipating a Griff pick from either of the teams, just because I think it makes sense in the terms of playing against tanks. Opening up the map is just really a solid option, especially with like Sandy. It's good for roughs if we see roughs here again. Yeah, I think we'll see it eventually, but Bear Jas from AN Esports is a really good Griff. I don't know if he's playing today. Maybe he's not playing because we haven't seen him yet. But yeah, if they were to play Griff, he should be playing it. On the other hand, Slash's team, they're good with tanks, obviously. We've seen them send just tanks GIF on Twitter quite a bit. And yeah, it's pretty funny. They like Jackie, they like Rosa, Daryl, all the type. Frank, obviously, he's banned here, so not going to be in the mix today. But yeah, I think Poco Tank will be good. Poco Gale, also not a bad option. Looking for more aggressive comps probably in split, opposed to the previous metas where we saw a lot of Tick, we saw Ruffs and Rico basically in every game.
I mean, yeah, Ruffs and Rico are super great on this map, but as you said, like if you introduce the Griff, then it's going to be different. Now, I was expecting to see Griff earlier, but even with Frank, we didn't see Griff, which is a strange one to me. And it isn't going to happen this time either. It is going to be the Jackie and Gale from Slash Hard E-Girls. AN Esports, they're going to immediately go for the left side. As soon as they saw the Gale, they knew immediately to go for that lane and all go for it, rather than split things up like usual and have a bit of a tougher fight. And honestly, I would say that's a great strat, and one that I have not personally seen yet, and it seems to be paying off so far for AN Esports.
Yeah, Sir Johnny's struggling there. I think I saw him miss a lot of his scrap sucker at one point. But regardless, and Esports has such a massive lead going into this game. I think it's a pretty solid pick actually. Because if you know how to use that gadget, you can just like completely nullify whatever brawl is coming on your side. You just suck all their ammo like instantly. Mateo is level 4, can find a lot of value, especially against Luki and Qualifier here, who are standing right next to each other in perfect position. Now Angel U and Mateo pushing from top and bottom. Let's see who can win this matchup though. It is definitely Sir Johnny always winning his matchup on that left-hand side though against the Jackie. Sir Johnny gonna move in on this right-hand side using the Mama Squeeze to deal damage. But yeah, 100% to 63. Pretty dominant victory from AN Esports as they take themselves to match point against Slash and E-Girls.
Well, good stuff there from AN Esports. Definitely closing things out how they would like to. Slash Hard E-Girls had kind of a tough time with the classic cheese strat, which has really gone from, I guess if you play cheese enough, then it does become meta. And maybe it's become so meta that the counter picks are now all too common. And really, I don't think this is a counter pick sort of situation for AN Esports. It was more of like a counter play, and they knew exactly how to deal with the Jackie jumping in constantly, even just for the first time, right? You're gonna have a tough time getting the Jackie off of the point after she's like set up shop there and won the first fight, and they completely denied the ability for Jackie to set up on the point by all going that lane to start things off, and then diverting their attention to the other point a little bit later, like even just a second later. I really do admire that strategy. How everyone said, okay, we're gonna just all go on this one lane, and I think it's a strategy that isn't used as much as it should be, which is doubling up on a single lane rather than everyone just like focusing on their one matchup, or pinch with me on this lane and you stay on this lane, or you switch this lane.
Yeah, speaking of those passive comps that I was mentioning earlier, here is one of them. Ruffs, Rico, and Tick is back apparently. Luki though gonna be running the Mine Mania instead of the typical, what was the other one called? Last Hurrah, that's right. And Angel U gonna be poking around here with the Stew. Let's see if you can find any kills. Mateo though, probably not gonna go in here because he does. I didn't think he was gonna work. And yeah, they've got this left zone, but they do not have any of the right zone. Luki just gonna get absolutely harassed there. Angel U trying to find this kill, but Slash is making things difficult with his second Ruffs bag now going down. After his last one is used though, it's going to be really hard for him to actually deal with Mateo and Angel U. Now Sir Johnny is struggling to stay high on health. No Pam turret available. Doesn't look like it actually, but okay, Mateo looking for his third TP maybe, but it's really tough for AN Esports here as this comp doesn't do so good into Ruffs.
Oh man, and it's getting really close here. AN Esports approaching the Slash Hard E-Girls percentile, just a 5% difference here. So Johnny, though, will feel the pain over here, and that is going to be the opportunity for Slash Hard E-Girls to push in. For a moment there, the percentage is synced up, and now it is going to just slightly favor AN Esports. It's getting so close. Patchy Pirate is defending the heck out of this right side. Mateo does actually decide to abandon post and go for the right side as well. Both teams defending the point that the enemy has not captured yet. It is going to be a bit of a tough fight for Mateo here on the right side, as Slash does have those sandbags ready, and Patchy Pirate, despite being the more vulnerable target, is being guarded heavily. Big kill on the right side by Angel U, and AN Esports is slightly in the lead. He just needs to take a little bit more damage. Angel U goes down, and Slash Hard E-Girls now how to defend this left side.
Yeah, but 2 buffs on the side of Slash Love E-Girls is going to mean that it's just a little bit more difficult for AN to actually win those individual interactions. Now Angel U pushing back aggressively onto this right-hand side. Let's see if he can stay alive with those Galaxy kills. And he does create just a little bit of a gap for AN Esports to be in the lead here. 9% left with 20 seconds. I think they've got it. This Pam turret is going to keep Mateo nice and healed up. They're going to take it. AN Esports moving to the grand finals up against Revenge Tour.
All right, and that is going to be A&E Esports going to the grand finals. Congratulations to A&E Esports and GG's to Slash Heart E-Girls. I was really hoping that they would make it to the grand finals, but I mean, you know what? They had a really good run. We had some really great matches to spectate, and I would love to see them in the next Brawl Masters as well. So GG for that. We'll be moving on to the next match. Well, we have one grand finalist ready, right? And that is going to be A&E Esports. So what is the other grand finalist, right? That is going to be the opponent for A&E Esports. It is going to be super exciting to watch as well. Or rather, that was our second. That was the second semifinal. A&E Esports is going to be the other grand finalist. So we got A&E Esports. We got O.O. Let's check it out. Let's get our bracket up and ready and get a look because, or rather, not O.O. Revenge Tour. Wow, honestly, we should just let the bracket do the talking rather than me.
Yeah, I mean, this one's not rocket science. We already know Revenge Tour is in the grand finals. Then they're joined by A&E Esports. Both have had pretty difficult paths to get here, albeit Revenge Tour had a little bit of a more difficult one, having fought up against O.O. Earlier. But yeah, A&E Esports had to take on Slash. So actually, maybe, yeah, they're both pretty difficult matchups, and they certainly deserve to have a shot at the playoffs next Friday. Yeah. If you're watching right now, just leave who you think is going to win in the chat. We are curious to see what you all think. Yeah, both teams have a pretty solid chance here. I think anyone could take it, really. Just got to wait for their draft advance. I'll be right back.
Right. Yeah, get ready for that break. It seems like we were a little bit more ready for that break than usual. Yeah, we got to get up, stretch, get some coffee if that's really your thing. Get excited as the grand finals are on the way, and we'll be finding out who that team, that fourth team in the playoffs, will be. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to Brawl Masters. We are going to be getting into the grand finals. It's going to be AN Esports versus Revenge Tour. And, of course, I'm still ready, set. That's still night, and we're ready.
That's right. Mr. Set, we are ready for this final match here. AN Esports versus Revenge Tour. As we get a little spooky over on Ready Set side.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
I
think my lights just dimmed for no reason. Okay, something spooky is going on. We'll sort it out later, though. Let's get into it. Our draft mode is underway. AN Esports are going to be banning out Heist and Brawl Ball. Gym Grab's going to be banned out by Revenge Tour. And Bounty is going to be where we start off for Revenge Tour. Hot Zone will be our second set. This is most certainly different from usual.
Yeah, this is not conventional, as we have Heist banned, Brawl Ball banned, and Gem Grab banned. Which means this last mode should intuitively be Siege, because I don't see another option. So yeah, we are having Dry Season, Split, and Siege. It doesn't matter what they pick. This last one is definitely already decided. And yeah, Dry Season, we've seen it a couple of times today. Seems like Ruffs, Gene, and Tick is the opted brawlers for the map. Although you can use a Spell, you can use a Sprout as well. It just depends. We got to see the bans, though, because that kind of decides whether you should use a Sprout or not. Because sometimes you shouldn't play a Sprout into a Poco double tank, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say, right, that it's feasible. Dry Season, I think we could even see a max, too, right? It's something that we've seen, like, every now and then. You get in, you get out. It's something that we've seen from AN Esports as well, and I wonder if we'd see it again. Revenge Tour. Oh, okay. Here comes the last map pick. It is going to be Nuts and Bolts, picked by AN Esports. This could be our first time seeing a Siege for the day. Here are the bans from both teams so far. AN Esports, they start off with the Buzz ban. Revenge Tour, they respond with the Gene and the Stew ban. We're just waiting on that last ban to lock us in and get ready for Dry Season. We have seen the Buzz ban, but we haven't seen the Mortis ban. So if Mortis is banned out, then we're almost guaranteed to see Sprout. And I might have to eat my words on that one night, but hear me out. Stew is banned out too, right? So what else is going to deal with Sprout if Mortis is banned out as the last ban?
Yeah, Edgar. And I'm excited for that option. Jackie's pretty good too. In the absence of Stu or Mortis, because Jackie has a ton of health. It's just hard to kill a Jackie with Sprout. I don't care how good of a Sprout you are, you just can't really kill a Jackie. And then they use the pneumatic booster. They have the holy moly to just suck you in. There's so many ways for them to deal with you, and so few ways for you to deal with them. Even if you wall, like, they can shoot through the Jackie can shoot through the wall if you're close. So it completely zones you with no skill. So that's the intuitive solution.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so with that said, now we got to consider Split as well, right? Because, you know, we're guaranteed to play at least 2 sets here. Nuts and Bolts, I'm holding out a little bit of hope, right? You know, Nuts and Bolts, I would definitely say among the Siege maps, it's the most consistent and probably my personal favorite. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say, you know, it's like the best Siege map that's in rotation in the competitive map pool. But Split, we're guaranteed to be played, right? And that is AN Esports' pick, and they have been playing pretty well on it. They've been synergizing well. They've gotten good teamwork on it as well. Something that wasn't working as well, maybe as it should have been, though, I think, was the Pam pick. And for being picked twice, it, you know, didn't work super well. And I wonder if they're going to stick with it. And I would most certainly be wondering if Revenge Tour is going to be responding to that potential Pam pick somehow.
Yeah, Pam is it's an interesting pick, but it's one that certainly paid off for them in Split, and that's actually a pick that I really like. That's something I would personally use as kind of a niche brawler, especially able to deal with the people who can jump over, anyone who just jumps over. Like if you know they're coming with Pam, when you see them like midair or like coming over the wall, you just pop the Scrap Sucker, and they're just sitting there for you, and it's a free super. It's really easy to control, like through the wall with the Mama Squeeze as well, so it just makes a lot of sense. But speaking of this match, we are in Bounty now with Ruffs, Tick, and Bell. No Gene in sight. I think Gene was banned, but feel free to correct me. Piper, though, is going to be able to pick up that first star here against AN Esports. Patchy Pirate, though, going to nearly fall. And Alec, I think he is dead. He's dead. Yeah, okay. Alec, though, going to try to shoot a homing shot. Does find the kill on the Sir Johnny, but barely. Now Mateo against Patchy Pirate Bell on the left-hand side. It's going to be hard for him to charge a super, but when he does, he's going to be rewarding the Tick or the Bell with a treat. Now, it's going to be Bell getting a ton of health, though. And let's see who gets the first buff or who finds the next kill.
Okay, let's see. Revenge Tour is leading comfortably, but they are not going to be backing down quite yet. Alec26 really needs to get this kill on a Sir Johnny. Sir Johnny is taking cover behind the sandbags. I guess the name of the gadget is called Take Cover, so it completely makes sense what Sir Johnny is doing. Though, those ricocheted shots from Bell's attacks aren't going to be taking those sandbags down little by little. There's a treat for Alec26, though. Now he'll be able to do a lot more damage to Sir Johnny. Just needs to get one tap and then the gadget with Homemade Recipe, and he is guaranteed a kill practically. Mateo is also trying to get that next super out, or rather, it seems like the first super for the game out, but it doesn't seem to be happening, and this is good plays by Revenge Tour to deny Mateo even one super.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the usage of the gadgets here, because Angel has used his first Tick gadget, and there are no more rust bags for Mateo, so they've just got to push in here with no cover, and that's not going to end up too well as they lose this first game 2-6 stars. Revenge Tour starting off strong.
Yes, most certainly a great start for Revenge Tour. The couple of Patchy Pirates and Alec26. Still not entirely sure who the different Patchy Pirates are. I do believe the Piper was CR7 because it seems like a pick that CR7 would go for. But in any case,
CR7
a great start.
Was, on the other team.
Oh wait, whoops, my bad. Who on earth? What? Who on earth is Patchy Pirate? What? Someone correct me right now. Who on earth is Patchy Pirate? It's not Patchy. So Knight, it's either Cute Sans or it's Jigsaw.
Charles or Raz.
Charles or
Cute Sans and Charles.
Those are two different people. So you're saying there are 4 possibilities. What on earth?
Honestly, I'm just as confused as you are, to be honest. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, it's Patchy Pirate and Patchy Pirate, and honestly, Patchy Pirate, when you compare him with Patchy Pirate, is, you know the logical conclusion from there. In any case, Revenge Tour, great start, and Esports, honestly, a very solid play from them. They just didn't get that lead at the beginning, and that's what cost them the game.
Yeah, not having that first star is so troubling in Bounty so many times, because when you're forced to push into the enemies, I just feel like you're giving up so many kills when you're forced to like push. And that's why Ruff's gadget is really good as well, because you can use the first Ruff's gadget to just pick up a free star a lot of the time if you just run in there quick enough. And yeah, we also like the early days of Bounty, I remember people just go in with Mortis and find the first star really quickly, and there'd always be like Mortis's racing for the first star, and it was pretty funny. But is a little bit of the same story here as Alec decides to go ahead and pick up that first star. Although he is quite low, it's looking like a repeat as Patchy Pirate does stay alive here though, contrary to how it went in the first game. But Patchy Pirate Bell on this left-hand side is going to fall early on. Good thing for AN though, because the Tick head could have just as easily blown up their own side wall if it was placed incorrectly, but yeah, he got a little fortunate there. and it was able to take the kill with no damage to their terrain. Good start for A&E-Sports.
Yep, and they just got to hang on to this lead. Alec26 is slowed down, but it's not going to be a kill. No homemade recipe, no pan pick for A&E-Sports. It is a leg up that Revenge Tour does have that could maybe net them a comeback here. Patchy Pirate with some good dodges on the left side, but not enough to dodge out that pinch by Mateo. A&E-Sports furthers their lead now to 3 stars, but they don't have the blue star. That is something that Revenge Tour will probably consistently have over A&E-Sports unless Alec26 gets even more aggressive than he is already. He can not afford to take another shot as it would take him down, so he's got to back up. A&E-Sports, though, they continue to power up Sir Johnny. It's the field promotion that's going to give him free health for the remaining 30 seconds of the game unless Revenge Tour is somehow able to get a kill.
Doesn't look like it. Angel's going to stay real safe there with the last hurrah, pushing back Patchy Pirate Bell off on the left-hand side, finding the second kill on him this series. Alec, though, is buffed up, holding on to that homemade recipe, is going to try to find a kill, but I mean, at a 7-star deficit, they need a team wipe here to get anything done, and that just doesn't look possible. A&E-Sports is going to tie up this first set, and, yeah, in a very, very dominant way, actually. Really well played, though.
Yep, a good comeback there from A&E-Sports. It's been so evenly matched across the board today. But one thing has remained the same, whether one game goes one way or another. What has remained consistent is that whoever gets that early lead is the one who gets the win in the end. And it just seems to not necessarily like snowball, right? But gradually become more and more of an issue. That one team is in the lead, right? A&E-Sports, they grab that early lead and then they hang on to it for about a minute and a half, and then Revenge Tour decides to go more aggressive than they can afford to, and then the stars start to rack up on the side of A&E-Sports, and is the exact same case, except Revenge Tour was favored in game number 1. So now in game number 3, who is going to be the first to get that star at the middle? Maybe the comps will change to account for this. Really, only one brawler is necessary in order to grab that star off the beginning, but that is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, as we saw, they were able to pick up the first star both times. Actually, I thought this time was going to be a little bit better for them because they didn't actually fall after picking up the star. I think it would make more sense if the ref went in and put the bags and grabbed the stars, so only one person would be at possibility of risk. Let's see, though. Same comp here from A&E-Sports. Revenge Tour looking like they are making a tiny bit of a switch. Are they? Yeah. All right, they didn't have a tick in the last game. Okay. Mateo, though, going to be putting up those bags, allowing Johnny to pick up that first. Wow, and they get a kill onto Alec as well. That is really, really nice to see. Angel now trying to match up against, I don't even know who that is on the left-hand side, but it's a good tick player. Mateo and Sir Johnny sticking together, getting that health buff. On the other hand, though, Alec is now not a little bit behind on health, but he wasn't sticking with his roughs as much, and also did go down once already. Angel, though, is getting pushed back slowly but surely. There's going to be a head first there, going to explode pretty much immediately. Angel U now getting a little bit of damage on the Patchy Pirate, but still not really winning this matchup. Wow, homemade recipe goes on to Sir Johnny, and it just tickles him, it looked like. Yeah, very stale game so far.
Yeah, pretty stale game. Tickling is for sure. Yeah, just really shrugging off the damage. A&E-Sports, though, they are definitely in a position to be laughing as they have that 3-star lead, and it's not really going anywhere. In fact, it could even further. Revenge Tour, they're forced to respond to that tick super. Not too much of an issue, though. Angel U will get back into this corner, though. It could end poorly for him. There's the head first. Angel U. Ooh, no way! And the damage is enough from the head first, plus that main attack. And Revenge Tour is able to take the lead here. Really attributed that one to Patchy Pirate on the tick. There's the next kill on a Mateo. What a comeback by Revenge Tour. And this is really the first time this set that we have seen a turnaround like this, where the team that is trailing in stars is able to break through and get a kill and turn things around.
Yeah, but with 6 seconds left, Revenge Tour is not out of the water yet. Let's see if they can stay alive. Alex sure needs to stay alive, and he does. Revenge Tour is going to be picking up our first set here.
Well, good stuff there from Revenge Tour. It almost slipped through their fingers and became a reverse sweep there by AN Esports, but they were able to bring it back, and it'll be netting a victory for them into their mode of choice. Now, though, it's AN Esports' turn, and they decided to spice things up with a little bit of Hot Zone. And that's a spicy mode if you ask me. In fact, AN Esports, they picked Hot Zone to go before Siege, so I wonder what exactly that could mean. But what we have observed through our previous matches is that AN Esports are pretty dang good at this Hot Zone map, and they really know their way around it, so we can certainly expect to see a good showing.
Yeah, Hot Zone coming up. This is a map that AN Esports did really, really well in before. Might even say they were dominating on this mode, especially with the Pam pick, which I think if you're Revenge Tour, you might be a little bit wary of going into this match. How will they deal with the Pam is the question, or do they just bring a Pam of their own? I'm not really sure what the answers to these questions are, but I'm sure they have already considered it. Yeah, still waiting for the Griff pick. Still convinced that it's good. But on the other hand, I won't be too surprised if we just see a Tick, a Ruffs, and a Rico. That's what we assume. On the other hand, yeah, tanks are still somewhat viable.
Yeah, like Tick, Ruffs, maybe Rico is what I meant to say. Yeah, Tick, Ruffs, Rico could be a good one. Now, if you have takes in play, though, then that's going to be a challenge, right? Because you're going to be lacking some control on the side of Tick. So, like, I wonder what the response is going to be. Do you think, Knight, that they'll stay off of the Tick?
Yeah, I think Tick is the one that they might not go, but I think, yeah, Rico is probably certain. Ruffs might also be certain. I'm not sure what they decide to go. If they go Gale combos, obviously they're not going to be running a Tick or a Rico. What else is good? Edgar. How come we haven't seen Edgar? That's also a big question. Because Edgar was always good here. When my team played Edgar, we seemed to do pretty good on this map against like Tick and Ruffs and Rico especially.
Yeah, I mean, Rico's your go-to here, so you always do have to be considering what your counterplay is to that. Now, it could be Sprout, and we have seen a little bit of Sprout already. So, or rather, we haven't seen Sprout here, right? But like, it is a possibility. We've seen Sprout from both of these teams in our previous matches, so we know that they have that in their arsenal. It's just a matter of, are they willing to play it? Are they willing to take the risk that it could get countered? That's really the bigger question, and that's most often the question when you're selecting comps is not whether you're mechanically skilled on the brawler, it's whether it's viable for this map and for this matchup, whether you think your opponent is going to try and counter it or not, or whether they're prepared for a pick like that. So with that said, we can expect Rico, we can expect Ruffs, and Ruffs is going to be good for countering brawlers like Surge and Stu, provided those are played.
Yeah, Russ has always been a really, really solid counter to a lot of these brawlers. Unfortunately, he does struggle a little bit against Edgar and against certain tanks, just not having the correct damage output. But his job is mostly to give others a better damage output so they can maybe deal with tanks. Let's take a look at the comps, though. It is Pam. Do I see a Dynamichael? I think that's a Dynamichael, as Angel U is trying to be a little... Oh, this is a little bit... I'm not sure what's going on here, but this Michael pick doesn't seem to be... Oh? I'm just waiting for what's going on this left side lane. I'm very curious as to how Angel U is going to win it. But wow, it looks like he's already taken control of the zone. Not exactly what I expected, but I mean, hey, Angel U is a good mic. Oh, I'm going to fall there, unfortunately. Alec, 26, already going with the buff and has the power up. No, I know it has the level 2 power up and the buff. Not the buff and the power up, because that's redundant. Sir Johnny now can get a really big scrap sucker if he goes for it. Let's see. Mama Squeeze is down. They're down 25% here, and the scrap sucker goes onto a rust bag. This is not the start that AN Esports wants. They are like a shadow of their former self so far. They're like, yeah, this is not happening.
I am shocked at the Dyna pick. Maybe they expected a Tick or like a Barley here. They wanted to like counter with a different thrower, but yeah, that's not it at all. It's complete domination by Revenge Tour. who would have thought, right? Because the Pam pick was already a little bit like suspicious, and then they hit us with a Dynamite. Like I trust the process, right? I trust the thought process. I know that there was like a pretty good reason that they chose that, because keep in mind what they're playing with here, what they are toying with is the possibility of going to the playoffs and winning lots and lots of money. So why?
I don't know, but I feel like their coaches. Yeah, maybe their coaches are probably not too happy with what they just did. Sometimes players not really going with what the coaches want to do. That's like actually a big piece of tension for a lot of teams. So yeah, players definitely have to trust their staff. That's part of their job actually. Maybe that didn't happen here because I'm fairly sure whoever their coach was wouldn't have approved that. But yeah, if you're gonna use Dynamite, you gotta sit in that bush. You don't want to reveal yourself, because maybe in the loading screen they didn't pay attention. They were doing something else, looking on Twitter or something. I don't know. They didn't see that there was a Dynamite on your team, and then when they come up, they get stunned by the mic and they're like, "Oh, that happened." And then you just went in the lane. So
yeah,
there's things you got to do.
Maybe he was practicing Dyna jumps in training cape while waiting for Revenge Tour to get ready and oversaw something. Maybe the coach said, $50 says you won't play Dyna. And, well, $50 did not say that he would not play Dyna. So we'll see, though. It does look like A&E Sports are taking this far more seriously than last time. Sir Johnny is going to be on the Surge this time. That is a bit of a switch up. Sir Johnny is going to look for that teleport, but Patchy Pirate's not going to let him have value on it. Now the other Patchy Pirate, of course, I'm seeing double, and Lola's not even in the game yet. Mateo over here on the right side will get shut down by Alec26. Sir Johnny tries to get over here. A bit of a subpar teleport there. It's not going to net anything for Sir Johnny. In fact, he's going to fall too. A&E Sports, they still maintain the lead, though, which is some point of comfort for them, but that is going to be quickly usurped by Revenge Tour on the right side.
Yeah, let's take a look at Alec, because he's got... Oh, maybe no more Alec to take a look at. But yeah, he was able to give Patchy Pirate a significant amount of healing before he fell, and that's going to let the Frank just sit in the zone for like 5 more seconds, which, I mean, hey, that's 5% more almost. So, pretty solid here. Sir Johnny going to try to find a kill on to the Rico. He does find the kill, but does go down as well. But hey, it happens. Now Mateo's going to be trying to find another buff. Oh no, and he gave him just the right amount of damage to find a super. Thankfully, that doesn't fall to it. Now, Sir Johnny's really got to defend this right-hand side against the Rico, or it's going to be all game over for them. Can they defend? Oh no, it doesn't look like it. 20% left for Revenge Tour to collect on the right-hand side. Patchy Pirate needs to stay alive against Johnny here, but Johnny is in control of the right side. Maybe if you're the Frankie, you just open up that wall and let your men through. Let's see.
Well, let's see if it happens. I mean, Revenge Tour only need a little bit more capture in order to take this win, and Patchy Pirate is looking real menacing. Angel U is powered up, but Patchy Pirate is healed up. Just a couple percentage claimed there is all that there's going to be. Now A&E Sports can afford to capture a little bit on the left side. And here comes Patchy Pirate with the Rico Super. Here comes Patchy Pirate with the Frank attacks and potentially even a Frank Super. He's not going to go for it. There's a stun by Sir Johnny, and 3% captured by Revenge Tour off of that push. They are getting staggered. If they regroup, they might be able to take this capture. But there's the duo. Angel U doesn't get good value on that. There's a Super by Sir Johnny. Doesn't get damage on Patchy Pirate. There's the Super once again, only 4% left, and down went Sir Johnny. It comes down to this 1v1 on the right side. The countdown has started. Will there be enough damage for A&E Sports to take this? It looks like Revenge Tour might get it. Alec26 needs the last bit of capture, 99%. Patchy Pirate gets the last bit of capture, and that's the game going to Revenge Tour. They're headed to the playoffs.
Congratulations to Revenge Tour. This is a wild journey here. Almost lost that last game. But, you know, hey, at the end of the day, it's a 2-0 sweep in their favor. They're going to be knocking out A&E Sports, a huge contender here. And, yeah, of course, as always, we hope to see all these teams back in the future seasons. There will certainly be more. And let's take a look at the final bracket.
Yeah, well, our teams had to fight super hard to get here. Revenge Tour, they started in the top right versus Ragnarok, then versus Sorvitino, and then versus O.O. A&E Sports, they started things off versus America to Cali, and then went on to face Quantum Gaming, then Slash Hardy Girls, and finally, they did concede a GG to Revenge Tour. Congratulations to Revenge Tour, and once again, GG's to A&E Sports. And of course, here are the playoff teams. Tribe Gaming in first place, West Coast in second, STMN Esports in third, and Revenge Tour in fourth. We also have the bracket rolling through for the playoffs, which are going to be next Friday, same time, same place.
Yeah, let's take a look at this final bracket. Tribe Gaming versus Revenge Tour, our fourth seed, who was entered into the playoffs through the last chance qualifier today. West Coast and Stamina Esports going to be facing off in the bottom side of your winner semifinals. And of course, the losers from each of those teams will be playing in the bottom semifinals, as that's how the double elimination works. And yeah, 4 teams, 4 great teams in the North American region competing in 2 weeks, which is on November the 19th, I think. Yeah, November the 19th, Friday. Stay tuned on Twitter and all those social medias. We will be updating you on the stream. So yeah, hope to see you back.
Yes, hope to see you back for that one. It is going to be an absolute banger. Of course, here's something else for you to consider. If you follow Brawl Masters on Twitter, you'll see a Making Moves MVP for each week of the competition. Well, we're pleased to announce that thanks to Move Network, each MVP thus far, as well as this week in the playoffs, will be awarded their very own one-of-one digital collectible to commemorate their MVP award.
Yeah, and we'll also be having a giveaways of free NFTs and digital collectibles of some of your favorite Master Series highlights and moments of the season. So make sure you follow Brawl Masters and Move Network for your chance to get involved.
That is absolutely. I can get NFTs of my favorite players. That is absolutely wild, and I cannot wait to get involved with that one personally. That this is not even me. This is like, honestly, I'm going to be getting involved with that. So I don't know. Look out for me in those giveaways. In any case, though, bringing it back to the match at hand that we just covered, Revenge Tour. Congratulations to them. What a way to end off the day night.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly deserve this one, and what a dominant finish in the grand finals. Usually we have a few closer matches in the grand finals, but they really showed they're 100% here, and A&E Sports was knocked out, of course, and we're going to see all these teams back. Even though they are seeded 1 through 4, all of them have a great chance at actually winning the bracket. It's double elimination, so all of them have multiple chances to play. So if you want to come watch your favorite teams, come tune in. You get to watch each one at least 2 times, so that's the good part.
Yep. Well, guys, with that does end off the Brawl Masters Last Chance qualifiers. Expect to see Revenge Tour in those playoffs. We can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks, same time, same place here at Brawl Masters, Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you get involved on Twitter as well. As we suggested, you will get the chance to vote for those maps in the playoffs as well. So if there are any maps in particular that you want to see, you have the chance to make your voice heard. With that, though, this has been Brawl Masters. I've been Ready Set. That has been Nighttime Clasher. We'll see you for the playoffs.